All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Hunter the Reckoning tonight. We're continuing our chronicle, Your City Lies in Dust. We left off on a very significant cliffhanger as we were fighting the supernatural creature that has been at the forefront of the chronicle for these first several eps. But midway through that fight, a wrinkle emerged, and we will see how bad that wrinkle goes as danger has risen, desperation has risen, and I think somebody is also missing an eye. We'll go over that. I you know what? I didn't actually update the art yet on the. I was gonna just draw like a big black circle on it. I thought about it earlier today, but I got sidetracked and I never did it. So. But let's just do. Oh, we got all these subs. Thank you for the subs, everyone. Really do appreciate that. Oh, it's so great. Melissa, hopefully you have you've been keeping track of like if we have any bits or bonus dice left over, because I have not. I think I have a couple cases I can throw in there, but yeah. Okay. Why don't we do some intros?
We used everything we had.
You did use everything? That's a shame.
Yes, we did.
Because that's a shame. It's like when you're doing like a Dark Souls boss and like, okay, you're fighting and it's really, really tough, but then you don't realize that you just got them below 50% HP and now they're really hard. They're in their rage timer. That's what's basically happening right now. So we'll see what happens.
No. We're in stage 2, guys.
Let's say hello, goodbye, one of the two, probably both, to the hunters that we'll be playing tonight. So let's start with Long. Long, tell us about Alvin.
Yes, I'm playing Alvin Tao. I've been practicing martial arts for 30 years, so that's pretty much since I was 8. Got a small family in a small home, and a little remarkable scar that he has on his left hand. It's like goes down his wrist to his hand. It got mangled during a supernatural encounter.
Nice. I think I've asked you this before. Did we ever identify like a specific supernatural creature?
We didn't come up with one. We just had it unknown for now.
Okay, cool. That could be something that could be, if you're surviving, of course. If you survive, then it's something that could kind of come up later. Okay. And I was going to make a joke. Like, I had a very small family. I'm going to be like, well, it's going to get even smaller here in a few moments. But, I mean, after what we saw Alvin do at the beginning of our chronicle, there's probably was divorce papers rolling in at some point anyway, so it's all good. Next up, we've got our pirate character. We've got Elaine. Ashley, tell us about Elaine.
It's going to be very interesting when I return back to office, because last time they saw me, I had eyes, and now I'm missing one. But yeah, Elaine's she's a little stressed out right now. She's been attacked by one supernatural creature before, and it killed her best friend, and then now she just got attacked by another one, and she might lose more friends. So
sure, yeah,
and herself possibly.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm trying to remember. I think I wrote down at some point you have shield, right? Like your artifact got a shield.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind I was using, that's why you have one eye left, is because it like halves the thing. And so I think that was how it was working in my head.
I like that.
Yeah. So you got to keep one of your eyes because you're still functional. Like I'm not going to, I don't really I'm not going to put any specific penalties on for the stuff you do for like that. But obviously, like you just said, you're super stressed. You're missing an eye. You just lost it. So like that, the trauma of it
is right there. It's fresh.
Yeah. But over time, I think if you survive this and you just have the one eye, it's not like we're going to give you some lasting penalty or anything like that for it. But it'll play, it'll come into play however you see fit.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, let's go to the bottom row. Let's go to Quixote Rust. Aaron, tell us about Quixote.
I'm Quixote Rust. When I was a kid, small kid, I was possessed by something. Something came in and it grabbed a hold of my body and it drove me like a flesh puppet and it made me murder my entire family. And I spent the next decade and more in an institute for the criminally insane until a lady from a secret organization we're not going to talk about, Sister LeBlanc, came and she saw what was going on and she helped me banish that creature. and her and a very nice psychiatrist, they smuggled me out. I'm beginning to think they just got me out on the street so I could fight these creatures, and that's what I do. I'm a vengeful apostate, and I believe that you have to kill all the monsters and anything that helps the monsters.
Okay. All right. That is good to know. Okay. I feel like a possible bloodbath is coming to the city of Phoenix fairly soon, but I mean, great. It was awesome.
Mission statement.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff will remember this floating about.
I think it's great. Let's go full on violence. It's fine with me. And then finally, Melissa, tell us about Maria.
So Maria Baum is our blue collar inquisitive. She is a plumber by trade. She's got an orange cat at home named Annie. She has an Uncle Luther who is in a memory care center. And so Maria's goal is to get Elaine to get Mr. Ponder into the same memory care center so that Uncle Luther and Mr. Ponder can be best buds.
Be friends.
And then we don't have to worry about them because they can be friends together. And then we can focus on the wild and crazy nonsense that Maria is having to go through without her mentor, because her mentor left some message about something that she went off to do. And so Maria's doing this without any assistance from someone who knows more than her.
That is true.
She's on the hunt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could have followed up on where she was. You just chose not to. You just chose not to. That's what it was.
Otherwise occupied.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, Melissa and I were talking yesterday about how, like, you know, other than the opening salvo of me stealing Brock, I didn't really anticipate us having such a tight timeline with, like, okay, we're just going to, like, itemize these first 48 hours. I'm like, yeah, the first 24 hours were going to be like that, but then But I'm like, no, that's not how this played out at all. Like, and it's fine. I think it worked out well. All right. Let's dive into our summary and then into the bloodbath. So last time, or mostly last time, so this is the summary. After the confrontation, you had a conversation with Dr. Wendell Drebin, a name that's come up a few times. And that turned, and when Maria and Quixote had a conversation with them, got the sense that there was some sort of supernatural or unnatural element to his presence. There was also increased security at the Valleywise Medical Center where Brock was being held. And you all decided that this was maybe a good time to leave the hospital as more and more of those lockroom control agents were showing up. And so maybe hoping to get the heat to die down. So the Blanc, Russ has already mentioned this, set up a meeting with Jonathan Landon, who was a teenager who suffered an attack by the eye thief last week. I need to actually retcon something here. Someone noticed this on YouTube. He lost one eye. His other eye was sort of damaged, but he still has it. But he still has like severe vision troubles. But I wanted to clarify it because there were like three different victims, and I think I got it confused at one point. So anyway, when the hunters, when you all arrived at the Landon's neighborhood, you started to notice there were a bunch of different lockroom control cars in the area, including two that were parked on either side of the block of their street. Russ, you hung back in the vehicle at like a gas station nearby. You were monitoring Maria's drone that was kind of doing some reconnaissance. And then the rest of you went inside to speak with the Landons. Wes was the father, and he was basically describing how he was having a ton of trouble with medical bills because Jonathan had some sort of previous surgery earlier in the year, and now this eye theft. How is he going to handle this treatment, that kind of thing. And he also mentioned how Lockroom Control had stopped by earlier and was kind of offering like protection and medical services through like Dr. Wendell Drebin. Jonathan gave you kind of a description of the attack, where he was skating with friends. It was some kind of abandoned plumbing supply. We were able to kind of figure out generally where that was. And there was also some small footage of it that the friends were able to catch on their phones. Eventually, the Lockroom agents came back with good news that Dr. Drebin had agreed to like pro bono treatment, which convinced Wes. But he didn't like kind of turn you guys over. He said he's going to go with him because there's no other way he can afford it. So you snuck out after he left, and you all decided that you were going to lay a trap for this eye thief. and you did some basic triangulation between like where the train station was and where Jonathan was attacked, etc. And you kind of figured out a neighborhood that might work. But there were a couple missteps here and there, some communication difficulties, and then effectively what happened is Elaine chased after a victim's scream from a second-story window, which separated her from the group and then left her open to attack by the creature, who swooped down, stole her eye, didn't even rip her eye, stole her eye. By the time you all got up, she was already missing her eye, and now we have a fight. Alvin and Quixote were right up in on. I think Quixote manacled himself to the creature. Alvin's been judo chopping and punching left and right. Maria has her gun out as well. Quixote, you managed to actually do damage at one point as you were able to sort of split some of that strange skin on the forehead of the creature. But making matters worse, suddenly you heard sirens after the gunshots. Maybe it was just timing issues. Maybe they were tracking it. You're not really sure yet. And suddenly there was a lockroom control vehicle. It arrived at the scene. Two guys stepped out. They drew guns, and they exited their vehicle, and they started pointing those weapons, not at the creature, but at you two. So let's start up. So just to remind everyone where you're at. Elaine, you ran inside. Once the locker room agent showed up, you are hiding in the building where you heard the scream. The scream was from somewhere up on the second floor, but you're somewhere hiding on the first floor. Mm-hmm. Outside that building, Alvin and Quixote are almost right outside the building, directly in front. Quixote is manacled. Alvin, you're not manacled, but you're in melee range as well. Maria, you have started backing away with the gun towards the van, which is parked a little bit askew, not too far away from where the fight's happening. And then off to the side on the road, relatively close to where the fight's happening, is where you can see these two agents have stepped out of their cars. They got the doors up. They're using the doors kind of as shields. They got their guns over top of the doors themselves, and they're pointing at you. You can tell that each one of those people with the guns, one of them's pointing at Alvin, one of them's pointing at Quixote. They do look a little confused and panicked, like they're kind of uncertain. But from what you can tell, they could be opening fire. Meanwhile, the creature is still alive, thrashing around on the ground. You can feel your arm kind of getting almost tugged out of its socket with how strong this thing is. And it's very fast, and you all were also aware that it has some sort of regenerative abilities as well. So, what would you all like to do?
Quixote looks down at this thing, glances at the other two. He says, "Death to monsters and all those who would aid them." And then he slams. He's still got his glowing fist. I mean, you can see the bones through it. It's glowing so bright with divine light as this Enochian script lights up. And he wants to slam his fist down in this thing's head again, at least one more time before he's riddled with bullets.
Okay, and remember, everyone's gonna tell me what you're doing, and then we'll do all the rolls, and we'll not narrate what happens. Okay, so Quixote is gonna continue to try to use the damage perk from his Repel the Unnatural on the creature on the ground. Okay, Alvin, you're right there. What else? What are you doing? Let's start right there on the creature.
I think I'll put my hands up here and be like, you got your guns on the wrong guys here.
Okay, are you gonna try to Are you looking to maybe talk them out of shooting you or something like that?
Yeah, I'll put my hands up, cautiously crouch up.
Okay. All right. So you're going to try to diffuse or try to get them not to shoot you. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Maria,
it's much smarter.
Much more reasonable. Yeah. Maria, you've got a gun. You're a little further away from the fight now. Remember that you shooting into basically the two of your allies on the creature is sort of making the difficulty a little higher for you. But there's also two other people now. Think of it like a triangle, basically. You're at one point, your friend's at the other, and then you have the security agents as well. What do you want to do, Maria?
I would like to do something that is along the line of training my gun on one of those two individuals. So I'm in the shadows. I don't think they've seen me. I want to take aim at one of them.
I don't think you're in the shadows. I think you've just backed towards your van. Your van is
so I'm visible to them.
Oh yeah, you guys swooped in action style, A-team style, overshot the target, unfortunately. And so, yeah, you're visible. It's just they're pointing their guns at whoever's attacking the creature.
Okay. Then I will just make use of the fact that they've seen me, and I will continue to do what I was going to do and just like have my gun trained at one of them so that they know there is.
Do you want to do it? I really want to give you an opportunity to do something more than that. Like, remember that I'm telling you what they're going to do, and unless you interrupt it. And so, if you think that the gun, like just training a gun on them is enough to get them not to do what they were going to do, I mean, that's your call on that. But is there something more active that you want to do?
I can. I'll assist Alvin with the talking.
Okay. Are you looking to sort of like intimidate or draw fire or draw attention or something like that?
I'm not so good with intimidation. I'm more good on kind of the persuasion.
Okay. All right. So, and then finally, Elaine, you're inside. What would you like to do? As far as you know, you're hidden, by the way.
Yeah. What do I want to do? Oh shit. You said they're at their cars, right? And they're using their doors.
They're doing that classic thing where they got their doors open, they're using their doors as kind of cover, and they're kind of standing behind it with their guns drawn over top.
Okay, because what I would like to do is another stealth roll to like get out the back of the building and like come around, because if they get away from their car, I want to sabotage their car.
Okay. I think that's multiple turns, though. It's
yeah,
a large
I'm just telling you, like,
building. Yeah,
the idea.
You don't need to roll another stealth.
Okay.
But if you're looking to go out the back of the building and come all the way back around it, that I don't think.
Or
the
maybe
full
pop out like
effect
a side window or something.
Okay, if you want to pop out the side window to like get like the jump on them or something, is that what you're looking to do, or? I'm just trying to get an idea, again, active. I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you doing to interrupt the moment? Like, 'cause just popping out is not necessarily going to interrupt what they're doing.
Maybe I want to shoot at the tires of their car.
Okay, you're carrying a gun?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to shoot from, like, the like a door, or excuse me, not a door, a window? You want to find a window?
Yeah, I'm assuming if there's like a window that's been broken or something.
Yeah, yeah, I think we can find that, sure. Okay. Yeah. All right, so... couple rolls. Quixote, you got to roll your normal repel. Alvin, you're going to roll, I think, since you're just trying to get them to kind of talk, you're trying to talk the situation down. You're going to roll manipulation or composure, I think. Or, excuse me, manipulation or charisma. And then we'll sort of say what? Persuasion, maybe?
Okay. I'll do composure.
Maria, and you're just looking to help? You're just looking to lend aid to Alvin's in this?
Yeah, I've got composure, persuasion.
Okay. Take an extra die, as between Alvin and Maria, you're trying to talk the lockroom control agents out of doing something. And then Elaine, you're not shooting at them, you're just shooting at their vehicle. So you're just rolling a straight up composure firearms, and difficulty, it's a parked car, we'll just say 2.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Make your rolls.
Nice to feel physical dice again. So at the end of last session, I rolled to maintain my occult ability. So now I'm rolling my strength and brawl to hit the thing again with it. So that's 6 die, and I'm activating my creed to use the 4 desperation dice, because mine is directly engaged in supernatural in combat. So I'm going to use all 4 dice.
Difficulty for you is going to be to hit this thing. That
sounds great.
The danger has increased between sessions. Okay, he's on the ground. So I'm going to counterbalance some of these. I'm going to say, because he's on the ground, but Alvin's not really holding him down as much anymore, we'll say difficulty of 6.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I love that sound.
Okay, I got 1 crit, so I got 2 10s.
Okay.
a 7, a 6, a 7. And then I'm going to spend 1 willpower to re-roll 3 dice. I did not get any 1s on the desperation dice.
Okay.
And I got 2 more successes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
8 successes
not
against
great.
2s. So it's still 2 points of damage towards this
2
thing.
points. Aggravated damage.
Aggravated, yeah. You see as you again, because you it's basically your tattoos, because you have the hands free, right? So
Right,
it's kinda
right.
like
It just
yeah. So your hands, like the tattoos themselves, as it makes contact once more, as you just smash down onto the head that's right up against the curb of the sidewalk here, like you can just feel as your hand makes contact that wrapped around. It's not skin. It's just like this long eyelid just still peels back, and you can see just viscera begin to bubble and slip out from underneath it. And again, the strangeness of no screaming. There's no mouth. There's no screaming. There's no pain, but it is thrashing around. It is not dead yet, though. Okay, Elaine, why don't we handle yours? Go ahead and roll Composure Firearms against 2.
Okay, so I rolled it. I rolled 3d10s. I have a 6, a 9, and a 5.
6, a 9, and a 5 is 2 successes, so that's exactly what you need.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
you come up right behind, like you come up from the side, you look out the window, your head's still kind of spinning, you're having trouble perhaps with the difficulty, but you fire, and it's a parked car. They're not looking at you, and honestly, you're probably the closest to them at this point because of your circumventing around, and you're able to fire a couple shots down right into the rear tire, and you can see it just begins to. Like the first bullet doesn't necessarily do one, but you unload a couple, and then it definitely seems to be lowering the back end. Okay, so then Alvin and Maria do the test.
Yeah, I got 2 successes. So I'm
Okay.
slowly crouching up with my hands up. You got the guns. I'm unarmed. Looking to like roll out of the way.
Okay, so you're unarmed, you back up, you roll out of the way. Okay. I think what they're going to do, one of them's going to turn and fire at Quixote with certainty. So you can see the one that's got their gun trained on Alvin hesitates for a moment and looks like they're about to fire. And as you kind of talk them down, they then hear maybe Maria adding something to it. And when they turn and look and they see you have a gun now trained at them, they hold their gun up at you. But the other one who is trained on Quixote, he just is going to fire. Let's see.
That's fair.
Quixote, roll a... I'm trying to give you a difficulty here. Difficulty with the danger 4. Alright, so... roll dexterity plus athletics, and we're going to make it a difficulty of 6. Sorry.
I like it.
Goodness.
No, that's okay.
The danger's so high, I'm adding some stuff with the danger here.
So I've got a dex of 2 and athletics of 2, so 4 dice. 1 success.
Okay. So take 5 points of superficial damage as you realize, as the gun goes off, I don't know, I'm not sure, none of you have like military training, I don't think, but it doesn't have that loud sort of pop the way like a normal handgun would. And as Kyoto, you're just kind of wildly like smashing, you just feel, and you feel something just
Art
pinch
gun.
your neck. And your
And
hand
tranked
kind
again.
of covered in some sort of, you reach up, and so you took your superficial. Now go ahead and roll. Okay, roll a stamina plus wits. Stamina plus wits as you see how long you can resist.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
Stamina
Difficulty is 4.
Stamina plus wits, that's 5 dice. Okay, good. I got a 10 and a 10, so that's a crit.
There you
A
go.
7 and a 6 and a 2.
That's a hell of a
Wow.
roll. Okay, you can feel yourself immediately getting woozy right now, but you're kind of holding it off. So what this is basically going to be is you have roughly like 2 minutes or 2 combat rounds before the trank is really going to knock you out. So like you're clinging to consciousness at this point. You can feel whatever they just shot you up with is putting you out. Okay. So now, Maria, you've got guns are trained at one another. You have a gun pointed at the security agent. This one's got a gun pointing at you. Elaine, you shot out the fires. You can see that the person who just shot Quixote is whipping their gun around and is now looking in your direction over by this broken window. Alvin, you're the only one who doesn't have a gun trained on you. You're kind of rolling, backing away. Quixote, you're starting to feel woozy. Your eyes, your lids are getting heavy, but you're keeping your adrenaline's just rushing through you, and you're keeping yourself up. You took some super damage. You can feel the blood beginning to trickle down your neck. You know it's just a matter of time before you fully collapse here, but you still got some time left, and the creature still is thrashing around. You know what? I never actually did something with the creature, but I'll say it would have been contested with Quixote anyway, so we're fine. Okay, so what are you all doing?
Okay, so is this when I do my?
You didn't have to do anything. You were assisting Alvin. You said you were trying to say you were helping him, right?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he got anything extra for my.
Yeah, they took the gun off him. He succeeded by them taking the gun off him and putting it on you.
So first, Quixote needs to actually try to maintain his defense. So that's occult and resolve. So that's 7 dice.
Yeah, the difficulty has gone up though. Again, it's going to be a difficulty of 6.
Okay, I got an 8,
Oh
a
no,
6,
because you're drugged.
a 6. I'm gonna spend another point of willpower to reroll 3 dice. 10, a 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 5 successes.
Okay, so you feel as this, like as you're smashing away, as you're starting to get woozy, as you're feeling the blood. Suddenly, you see the long fingered hand of the creature like reach up and just kind of grab you by the collar and start to pull you closer, and that kind of gives you the realization that this thing is now a little bit more capable of attacking you. Okay, so new round. Alvin, you've backed away. You're not in immediate danger. You're not up on this creature. This creature now has the ability to sort of get still tethered to Quixote, but you're not holding him down anymore. Elaine, you've got a gun trained on you. Maria, you've got a gun trained on you. Quixote, you've got the creature on you. What is everyone doing?
Oh, I forgot to roll my bloody desperation dice with that last one, but that's okay. I'm going to try to reestablish my repulsion. So as this thing reaches up to me, Quixote realizes his danger, and he, that sick feeling in his gut starts to churn up that something else is going to try to take control of him, and he pushes back against it. And I will use my desperation dice this time.
Okay. All right. Maria, you hear, as the gun's pointing at you, you hear, drop it! Gun on the ground now! And
Click,
Elaine
click, boom.
will say something to the same effect back at you, as they're not screwing around.
With the heat sort of off me, I'll try to maneuver my way towards them, actually. Maybe charge the one that shot.
Okay.
Slam him against the car.
Okay. I think that sounds great. I do think let's call, instead of this being a brawl test, though, let's make it an athletics test, because you have to try to close the distance really quickly. And so we'll make it athletics instead of brawl. And that'll probably be the only thing that'll be different there. Elaine, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and shoot at this guy's legs.
Okay. Sounds good. Maria.
Also shooting.
Okay. So let's go through this one at a time then. Alvin, you're going to try to charge the same one that Elaine is shooting. Elaine, you have a better, we'll say you're better on the passenger side. Alvin, you're probably closer to the passenger side. You might be able to go smash into the door and kind of like smash them and like collapse the door on top of them. So that one's going to be taking 2 attacks. Maria, you're going to be shooting at one on the driver's side. The door is kind of in the way there. So they will, I'm just going to treat that more like cover, like armor, as opposed to making the difficulty any higher. So Maria, it's just going to be he's going to fire back. So it's just going to be we're just going to treat this like contested firearm shots for me and you. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and work this out. Let's start with the gunshots first, actually, and then we'll have like Alvin close in. We're gonna do this a little bit differently.
And
so we'll start with Maria. Yeah.
The audience is for an extra dice.
Yeah.
All right.
You can use, I think, Tool to twitch through some.
Yep. Thank you,
All right.
audience. So that means I can roll 7 dice for composure and firearms.
Okay,
and
the difficulty for you is going to be 5.
So I've got 3. So that is that's a 7. Okay, so as of right now, I have 4 successes. So I am going to spend a willpower to re-roll the other 3 dice.
Okay. DJ
Let's
Quiver,
see
thank you
what
for
I
that prime
can do.
sub. Appreciate that.
And I got no more, so I got 4 successes.
You got 4 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
What that means is that you both unload on each other, and you put a couple, and like you can, as you unload like 3 or 4 or 5, bullets from the gun, as you're backing, you don't have any cover. You're kind of out in the open, and you can see the door. All your bullets are right into the door. You're right on target. Unfortunately, he's just got that door in between you, and you hear, and a gun comes out, and much like Quixote, it's a tranq gun. So you're going to take 1 point of superficial damage when the tranq dart comes back at you. Like, it doesn't catch you in like the neck the way that Quixote's did, as he was down and not really looking at the guy, but you manage to sort of brace it. It catches you maybe in the shoulder. So 1 point of superficial damage, but now roll a stamina wits against a difficulty of 4.
And wit. So that's 4 dice.
This determines essentially how quickly the tranq takes effect.
Sure. So, that's a 4, 4, 3, and a 1.
Do you want to spend willpower to reroll?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay.
Like to not immediately fall on my ass. 2.
Okay.
Successes.
So
do I still immediately fall on my ass?
yeah, you're going to immediately fall out. But what I'll say, I'll do one of these things. I'll do one of those. I can't remember what it's called in the rules. Like fail, win at a cost. So instead of what we'll say is I'll give it. It's your choice if you want to take this or not. You can either just fall on your ass and that's it, or you can say that tranq actually hits you not in the shoulder, but more kind of like in a very sensitive spot, and what would have been just normal superficial damage, we're gonna say we're gonna call it 2 aggravated damage, which is the difference between you. So it's up to you. Like, it catches you like right in the sort of very sensitive spot, like maybe right near the jugular or something like that, and you just start bleeding profusely.
So I already have one of those damage back from like session 1 that still hasn't been healed, so I don't know that I can take 2. So I think, unfortunately, sorry everybody, I am going to fall on my ass.
So it's not so much you immediately fall, it's more like you just get very drowsy and you start to stumble around. The gun clatters down to the floor, and on the next turn you're just kind of stumbling, and then we'll say you fall.
Got it.
Okay. So that was Maria. Elaine, Elaine, let's do you.
Okay.
So it's going to be a difficulty. Oh, sorry, I rolled a crit. It's going to be a difficulty for you as you're shooting out a window. You have an easier shot though, as you don't have to. We'll call it. Yeah, your difficulty. We're going to treat it like it's going to end up being 6 because of the crit. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Give it a roll anyway.
Okay, I have just 3 dice.
Okay, give it a roll.
1 success.
Okay, 1 success. So I'm going to say the same thing, same offer to you as they fire in your direction. You fire, you don't manage to hit. Like, you have a gun, but maybe you're not the greatest at it, and so you fire you could see one of the windows, like this little like ring shows up where the bullet hits what looks like it's probably bulletproof glass or something like that, and you don't quite hit them, and they just fire back, and they manage to catch you just like center mass. And I'll say you can either take You can either we can do the whole. Actually, roll your stamina wits first. Let's do that. Let's see how long this takes. It's gonna be 3. It's gonna be 3 superficial damage.
4.
No, wait, that's not right. It's gonna be 4 superficial damage.
I've got 1, 2, 3 successes. Let me spend a willpower to reroll 3.
Okay.
Roll well. Roll well.
I got 2 more successes.
Okay, great. You are. It hit you. And just like Rust, you feel yourself, but you managed to power through. The adrenaline is running. Maybe the fact that you lost your eye, you're already so like anxious and
Just
and
amped up.
stressed and amped. Yeah, exactly. That it's kind of keeping you up. So superficial damage, and you will be going down shortly, but not right off the bat. You still got another round or 2 in you. Then Alvin, you're charging in on the one that just shot at Elaine. This one, he's had to turn himself away from you, so it'll be a little bit easier for you. We'll treat this like a stand. We're gonna treat this as difficulty 4.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a strength athletics.
Yeah, strength athletics. You're just charging in and just smashing him into smashing the door on him.
Got 2 success, but I'm gonna spend a willpower to reroll 3.
Okay.
Three success.
3 success. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. Like I'll give you an option. You can either fail
Succeed
at this,
with a cost.
or you can take we'll say you take like an aggravated damage as you smash in, and maybe your shoulder kind of gets dislocated as you lower shoulder into it. But in doing so, like you'll smash the door. His gun will go flying, and he'll kind of be trapped in the door. It's kind of up to you. It's either take the damage from kind of lowering your shoulder into it, or don't take the damage.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so take it. So mark the X. 1 point of aggravated damage. Your shoulder, you can feel it just dislocated. Maybe it's happened to you before. But the guy goes as he gets smashed in the door. Gun goes flying. You can see like part of the door catches him in the mouth. Blood is now trickling down his chin, and he's a little disoriented too. All right, Quixote, let's go to you. Then you're on the creature. How do you want to handle this?
Tries to refocus and repel against this thing that has just grabbed his collar.
Mm-hmm.
And this time he's desperate. So I will use my desperation dice as I struggle directly against the supernatural.
Okay.
So I've got 4 in resolve and 3 in occult. So that's 11 dice. And I did pretty good and pretty bad. So I got 2 crits.
Okay.
And an 8 and a 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a 1 on one of the desperation dice, and I'm going to spend a willpower to reroll 3.
Okay. So for those while he's doing that, a 1 on a desperation die either triggers overreach or despair. If it's successful, if the test was successful, which it sounds with 2 quits like it was, you can choose which you prefer. If it was a fail, it's automatic despair. Overreach is what it's basically going to do. It's going to increase desperation by 1, which is going to max out. So it means you guys are going to go all... it's going to increase danger by 1, which means you're going to max out. Right now, danger's 4, and now you're at danger 5. I'm assuming that's what you want.
Yeah, I had to take a picture of that, because on the 3 dice I rolled 2 more 10s and a 6.
And this
so
is
1,
is this
2,
to
3,
damage
4,
it?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11.
Is this your
total.
damage perk?
No, unfortunately, I have to reestablish it.
Okay.
So it's just repel. It can't attack me.
It
can't
cannot
touch me.
attack you. It
Unfortunately.
its hand rips free as it was reaching up for your eye. You can tell, and it just wrenches free. Okay.
What a roll.
I know, and wasted on just repelling it.
I know. I was going to say, I'm like, that's probably enough to take it out. Okay. And so that was it, right, for your turn?
That was it. Yeah.
It's going to try.
And that was it for the dice karma, right? Like it was all
that's
right
done.
there.
It's done now.
All right.
Game
It's going
over.
to actually try to do something, not attack you. It's going to try to wrench free from this manacle, is I think what it's going to do. So standard dice is 6. This is going to be 3. I think we put the manacle. Remember the manacles were they weren't the greatest. Yeah. So I'm just going to roll to see how well it does. Okay. So I'm gonna say for its turn, you can see as it yanks its hand back, and it kind of as like the not blood but more like sludge and viscera are still kind of continuing to sort of move around like the horrible wound that's in the head, and then it's going to kind of grab the manacle and just yank its arm, and as it does so, you just see the manacle rip apart, and it is now separate from you, and you can see it. And I'll say for its turn, it's just going to clamber up. It's on its feet, and it looks confused. It looks wounded, but you also remember that this thing can move. Okay. So, I think everyone's gone.
I think so.
At this point, you all hear the clatter of Maria's gun. You see her grabbing, kind of, and then she just falls to the ground. Elaine, you feel the shot in your chest. You look forward, and you can see that the gun from the guy who you shot has scattered away. Alvin has smashed the man who you were firing with, and he's currently like kind of clamped down in the door. The one guy who shot at Maria still got a gun, but I'll say this: he actually is having to now kind of take a moment to sort of reload some trinks, and then Quixote, you're still up front with this thing, and Alvin, you're right next to this one guy. So it looks like what's probably going to happen here, Quixote, you can probably sense that this creature's trying to flee. Like at this point, it's a wounded creature and it wants to get the hell out of here. Alvin, the guy that you're in, is sort of trapped at this point and wounded, but he's not like out, so you can continue perhaps to sort of take him out, but there is another guy on the other side of the car as well. Elaine, you've got one round left before you're going, so that you make this round count. And Rust, you have this round and one more before you pass out. What does everyone want to do?
Rust would reach up to grab this thing before it can run and just throw one last wild haymaker in the hopes of putting it down.
Okay. We'll get everyone's actions. Is anyone going to do anything else with the creature, or is Quixote the only one that's still tangling with the creature?
Yeah, I actually want to try and pick up this train gun and aim at the creature.
Okay. We'll make it sort of... Yeah, let's do a... Composure firearms is sort of the normal shot that you have to do, but it's more of a, I want to see how quickly. What's your athletics skill at?
3.
Okay, and then your dexterity was what, 3 as well?
Also 3. Yeah.
All right, I say you're probably fast enough to reach down and grab it. Then you don't got to roll it. We'll do like the 50 of that, like take half, so that would probably be a 3 on that roll. So we'll say you can quickly grab it before the guy can get out of the door, and you kind of fling back and you try to shoot at the thing. Okay, that's fine. Elaine, what do you want to do?
So I'm still in the building.
Yeah, you've
correct?
been shooting at the gun. You've been shooting out the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going down though. You can feel like the whatever this is washing over you.
Yeah, since we tagged the creature with the tracking thing, Elaine wants to shoot that information because she feels herself going down to her tier 3 contact, Dina, just so that if anything does happen to us, someone else is able to take on the cause and track this creature down.
You tagged him like the first round or something, right? Was that right?
Yeah.
During the grapple, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So what is it you're trying to do? Remember, this is your last action before you're out. So what do you want to do?
Oh God.
I can come back to you. Alvin, we know you're shooting. We can roll. I already know what the other two are doing, and Melissa's out. It is up to you, Ashley. You gotta tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
Sorry.
In one turn, would I be able to get out and try and knock someone out?
What do you mean knock somebody out?
Or like tackle them or something?
You want to hop out the window and try to tackle the guy who's now trying to clamber out of where Alvin smushed him with the door. I'll say it's going to be an athletics test, and the difficulty, I don't know the difficulty yet. I have to look at the sheet, but it'll be an athletics test to sort of do it quickly, to charge in and get it all done. Yeah.
Okay. And would I be able to do tap into desperation for that or no?
What is your
Subterfuge? It's pride, or my creed is underground, so stealth.
No, I
and
meant like what's
subterfuge.
your creed fields? I don't think that. Nah, this is physical
Yeah,
combat.
you're right,
This
yeah.
doesn't feel like subterfuge. You're directly charging the guy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the creature. Kyoto, you're first. You're locked in engagement with him. You're trying to get him one more time before he runs away. He is up at this point and broken from the manacle. He also is wounded, so his difficulty is going to be cracked die. There we go. His difficulty here is going to be 6.
And is our desperation dice still 4, or did they go up when the danger dice went up?
I think, let's see, each one on a desperation die increases danger, so danger is 5.
Okay. Oh, that's too many dice. Hold on. So strength and brawl, that's 6 dice and 4 desperation dice as he tries.
Would you like an extra one?
I would like an extra one. That would make me very happy.
Thanks to Twitch.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Oh, now I roll a 10. I feel like I only roll 3s and 10s on this. This is crazy.
All right, not bad. I don't know. 9, 9, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to spend a willpower point to re-roll 3.
Mm-hmm. You succeeded, but you're not doing any damage yet.
Right. 7, 8, 7. So 3 points of aggravated damage.
Okay. So
Not enough to put it down, I'm sure, but
actually, as it rips free, it goes to turn, and you can see it's about to go into its super speed. You reach out right across the back and just sort of like grab it on the shoulder and try to wrench it back down. And as you do, you just feel like your hand burn into the shoulder and just rip free what looks like a chunk of this eyelid flesh. You see it, you also like burst one of the eyeballs that were sticking on the back, and you just slam it back down. And you see it go inert on the ground. No longer thrashing, no longer moving, just falling down. Alvin, you go and you grab the gun, you turn. You can see Kyoto has dropped it. Do you want to continue to fire at the thing that's now on the ground, or do you want to try to turn your gun turn this on somebody else?
Yeah, if it looks like it dropped, I'll retrain my targets to the other army guy.
Okay, so and he's on the other side of the car. Again, he's going to have cover and all that kind of stuff. But go ahead and roll. This is going to be composure. At this point, he's probably turning and firing at you, I think. So we'll call this the contested composure firearms. Let me give you a difficulty here. Difficulty of just 5, actually.
I only have 2 composure, and I'll use desperation dice here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, difficulty 5. That's right. Sorry.
Got 2 left long if you want an extra.
I'll take an extra as well.
Okay.
Damn, Rust. 6, 6, 6. He is possessed. Damn.
Only 2
that
success,
11
but
dice.
I will willpower reroll 3.
Willpower reroll 3. Okay. Difficulty of 5. Sorry, I keep having to switch between the 2.
Only 3 success.
Okay, so he turns at you, you turn and hit. He's kind of reloaded, fires, and you see the thing kind of this trank gun flip across. Now, the difference between what's going to happen with you and everyone else is you do have a car between you, and I did say that I was going to treat the doors and the car as armor for them, so I'll kind of do the same. So do you have any normal armor on you?
No, I don't have any armor.
Okay, so it would have normally been 3 points of superficial damage, but because there's like a car in between you, I'm going to say that just it doesn't kind of stick you as hard as it would. So only take 1 point of superficial damage as it kind of goes through this fractured glass from where you smash the door on the other guy. And then roll a stamina plus wits. And again, this is sort of determining how much, how well you resist this.
I have a pool of 5 for that.
Okay. Difficulty of 5 now, by the way. The difficulty is directly connected to the danger level.
Just 2 success.
Okay. So Alvin, I'll say again, I'll give you a trade. take as like the guy who you just slammed. He could have said he kind of takes you with some sort of combat knife he might have as he's pulling out from behind the actual door, or you can just fall. It's kind of up to you.
I'm taking damage if I just succeed with the cost.
You're going to take 1 superficial damage, and you're going to go out, just like Maria did.
I'll just go out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just go out.
Okay. Quixote's the only one who's still up. I think Quixote gets one more turn, too.
Oh.
Okay.
And thank you, DJ Quiver. We got an extra, so we're back up to 2.
Elaine, you're up. What do you want to do?
So,
This is so stressful.
I think you were charging at the
still
guy,
there,
right?
so she's gonna charge in and she's just gonna try and hit him with the gun.
Okay, go ahead. And it'll be easier for you because he is already kind of engaged. We'll call this a difficulty of 3. So athletics.
And I'm rolling.
I wanted
melee.
athletics because you're trying to jump out of the window and charge in. It's sort of a complex action. I think athletics is more all-purpose for this.
Okay.
I'll take either strength or dex. I don't care whichever you think is better. Dex is a good case for speed, and then strength's a good case for strength. So whatever is better for you.
I'll do dex and athletics, so that'll be a pool of 4.
Would you
So, like,
like one?
You're quickly hopping out.
We have 2 if you want one.
I think Quixote's got one. Quixote's got one more turn. Elaine's out. Alvin
After this, I'll be out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be Quixote for one more round.
Yeah,
and
I'll
one
try.
other guy.
Yeah, I guess I'll take a dice. Yeah.
Okay.
Got one.
If you
left
could
for
take him out, that
rest.
gives Quixote one round to take out the other guy.
Yeah.
Spend a willpower.
The
Reroll 3. I
highly
got 2
trained
successes so far.
private paramilitary operative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in my best.
What was my target? I got 4 successes.
Target was 3. Okay.
Hey.
I'll say you hop out. You see
I thought
Alvin.
it was 5.
You come charging the guy, like he pulls out this combat knife. He's getting ready to stab Alvin, and you manage to just slam the door once more onto him, and like the knife kind of gets turned around and right into and underneath his vest, and you can see, and he like more blood begins to spurtle out, and he just kind of drifts down and he collapses to the ground. One of these guys has been taken out. It looks like the monster has been taken out. There is still one guy who's up. And unfortunately, Elaine, the last of your energy is exerted as you smash the guy right back into the car. And then you fall down. Alvin, you throw some like vague judo chops at the guy, and then you just fall. Quixote, you look over, you see your whole team is on the ground now. You see this one guy is now turning his gun back to you. You've already been hit. You're extraordinarily woozy at this point. Adrenaline has been keeping you up, but
Is this guy behind the car door?
he is, but he's been moving slightly, so it's not as easy. So you can he's still there. He was shooting over top of the car towards Alvin at that point. So, what would you like to do?
So, am I on the same side of the car as him? Does he have cover between me?
You're the door is between you and him.
Okay. So he's not going to try to pull his gun because he's not very good with it, having just been given it, the last time. So he is going to do the only thing that he knows how to do. He is going to charge up and try to basically slam this guy, bring his elbow down across the top of the car window, and snap this guy's neck as he slams the car door into him.
Okay. Let's see.
It's not going to go well. He's very good at fighting monsters, not very good at fighting anything.
Difficulty
Add an
5.
extra. You want the extra?
Yeah, I'll take the extra if you guys are okay
All
with
right.
it. So
Difficulty
strength
5.
and brawl or strength and athletics?
I'll tell you what. Things are so much in my favor. Whichever's better for you.
Okay. I'll take the 6 dice then plus the 1 audience dice. Thank you very much. Oh, this is going to go so bad. Yeah. Well, I got a crit. So 2 10s and a 9. So that's 3. And then a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 3. So I will spend another willpower point to reroll 3 of those.
So you do have 2 10s?
2 10s and a 9, so that's 3
Okay.
in total.
Don't forget that when you roll 2 10s, you do get extra successes for the pair. So each pair counts as 2 additional successes. So that's 5 successes.
Oh, 5 successes. Okay, so yeah, I spent the willpower, and I got a 9, a 7, and a 1, so 7 successes in total.
That's 2 damage you do to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you come up, you smash the door, like his gun kind of goes flying. You hear this burst of this guffaw come out. It's like, son of a bitch. Flies back, and as you go to kind of like reach out, maybe instinctively, kind of to try to do your repel, the tattoos kind of start to burn in your hand a bit. You can see the blood and the weird gore from the creature dripping down from your hand. Everything just gets dark.
As those who would support and protect the monsters shall fall. And passes out.
Okay. So, everyone's out now.
Mm-hmm.
So, who do you guys want to play for your next character? No,
I've got an idea.
Okay. You roll a little die. Okay. Let's see. See who's left. Alvin, you're the first to wake up. Look around. You're right where your memory was. You feel a pain, like the soreness from where the train hit you. Your shoulder is killing you in pain. Your hands, knuckles are kind of busted. You're laying on the ground. You can tell it's still night, or maybe it's night again. Your eyes are really foggy. You roll around, like the memory's kind of coming back to you. You see blood and destruction on the ground, glass from the car. You don't see the lockroom control vehicle. It's gone. You also don't see the creature. You look around. You see Quixote. You see Maria. Both on the ground. You do not see Elaine.
I'm gonna get up, drag Quixote, Maria together, find the van, drive over.
Okay. The van is nearby. You're feeling like an immense hangover, right? You go over, I'll say you can get the two of them up. You slap them a little bit, wake up, shake them, and eventually the two of you come to as well. And pain, exhaustion overtakes you. I'm sure one of you has a watch. You look down. It's been at least maybe an hour, maybe more. It's like you don't exactly remember looking at your watch. It's still nighttime. You see your van is still nearby. It's still open. No one's raided or anything like that. Speaking of raids, Bert, thank you. Steam Still Murder for the raid. That was perfect timing.
Welcome.
I just used the word. Look at that. I'm a professional. But again, none of you see Elaine.
Elaine's gone. The guys are gone.
Those cowards, those bastards took her just like they took Brock.
Did we get any looks in on them?
I hurt one of them, and I think I put the creature down, but I don't know if it's going to stay that way.
I was not expecting. Yeah, that's not what I was expecting. Oh.
Can I check out the site where the creature was? See like any trace?
Yeah, you no roll necessary. You know, you see the again, it wasn't so much blood as it was like this thicker, more viscous kind of sludge.
Humor.
Yeah, and you can see the stains of it on the ground, some of the residue there. And I'll say roll an investigation test, intelligence investigation.
Sure, if I pull 4.
And we'll just say difficulty of 2, maybe. Yeah, straight.
Yeah, I got a 2.
Perfect. You see drag marks, and the drag marks seem to be moving back towards their vehicle.
Took the creature, Annie Lane.
Must have taken her back to that hospital where they've got everybody else.
We gotta find another way into that place. Like, we can't keep going into the hospital. Like, they've probably got our photo plastered over every guard's cell phone in that place by now.
That's right. That tactically wouldn't make any sense. You're right. We gotta be smart about this. Maria, that's not my strong suit. I know it's not.
Damn it. So we did do the tag thing last time. We did tag the creature. Is Elaine the only one that knows the information about how to access the GPS on the tag?
I am not going to nickel and dime you like that. You have a surveillance van because you have fleet and you have surveillance perk. I don't see any reason why Elaine wouldn't have kind of tied the van's systems into the tag.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would like to track that tag.
Okay. Sure. And I'll say the rolls have already been done, so there's really no need to do any additional rolls here. I think you've already done your fleet roll for the van, and then I think Elaine already did her tag roll for her friend last time. So you groggily get over, you get into your van, get the systems fired up, and it's sort of some sort of basic GPS systems, because it was like animal tagging, right? It was like for pets, like lost pets.
Yep.
And you kind of go through, try to find the location, and you get a map of the area. And yeah, it certainly seems to be coming from that same area near that Valleywise Hospital, near where Valley MedCorps is, near where the Valleywise Hospital that you guys were in earlier.
No surprises here. Same places. I guess we're going back over that way again. Unless anybody else has any bright ideas.
Let's regroup a bit. Elaine and I did get an inside look. Let's tend to everyone's injuries, see how bad they are.
Okay. Yeah, how is everyone doing?
I've got
Elaine's dead, but the rest of you.
rest of us. I've got 5 superficial health, so I'm not bad. But it's a lot of superficial damage, but it's no aggravated damage.
I've got 1 of each.
Was I the only one with medicine?
I do have 1 pip in it.
Okay, cool.
Works at a dojo. He's got to be able to,
I've got 1 pip in medicine too.
Okay.
So
did you all do your start of session superficial healing, by the way? Don't forget. You get to...
Yeah, I don't know if anybody had any superficial.
Yeah, I wasn't damaged.
I didn't have any superficial damage. I healed my superficial willpower.
Okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay. So
aggravated is intelligence plus medicine difficulty equal to the total aggravated damage sustained by the patient. Trying to heal yourself increases difficulty by +1. Success converts aggravated to superficial.
But remember, note that this isn't instant healing, and this happens over the course of the night. So if you do this, you're foregoing the night. Like, you're not going and getting Elaine or hunting her down tonight. You have to make a choice. Also, hospitalization is an option, so you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Just head right on in.
We can't allow those bastards to cut Elaine apart to see what happened. We've got to save her tonight. I just don't know how.
Might be on high alert. But
They're definitely going to be on high alert.
I could call Dr. Freud. She's a friend. She might be able to give us some pointers on how to get into the hospital. She's a psychiatrist. She's also a 2-pip contact for me, so not as good as Sister LeBlanc, but
Yeah, I also have a 3-pip ally of a locksmith, but I'm not necessarily sure that the kind of locksmith I'm thinking he is necessarily going to be able to manage a hospital security system. but I'm thinking. I'm trying to think if I might be able to do any. Can we drive closer to the hospital and see if the ping on that GPS gets closer to see like if it's at the hospital or over at MedCore? Because that would be way easier to deal with if it's not.
Oh
at the
yeah,
hospital.
for sure. That's not an
all
issue.
Right, let's start there.
Okay, yeah, that is not a problem. Okay.
All right.
So y'all get in the car, or get in the van, start driving. All of you got a little bit of a hangover, a headache kicking in, and you drive over towards Valleywise Med. It's not that far away. It's only a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes away from where you all were set up. Now, you have the GPS going. You have your surveillance. None of these, you don't have to do any extra additional rolls here. Okay. As you start driving around, you notice immediately that based upon, you know that there's sub basements and stuff for the hospital, but based upon as you you do the whole around the grid, around the lot that is the hospital, and you can tell that the ping for Elaine is actually not from the hospital lot. Start driving around a bit, you know that, and like you can see that north of the hospital there is what looks like a construction site. You can see that, like, as you're driving around, you can find a sign. It looks like a site for a parking garage, but it's under construction. Doesn't look to be yet there. There are a bunch of people who seem to have, like, it looks like it's been being used also as like an overflow parking lot here and there. It's like this gravel area.
Mm-hmm.
You drive around it a little bit more, and you know that north of that, so think of this like an eye with 3 dots in between them, right? Southernmost is Valleywise. The middle one, that large lot, seems to be some sort of construction site. And also to the north of it is Alhambra Correctional, which you know is some sort of like specialty prison for people who have some sort of medical specialties that they have to kind of get taken care of nearby. And you're getting a ping that seems to be coming from right between the prison and the hospital.
So maybe, Alvin, that hallway that you guys saw in the hospital doesn't terminate in the hospital. Goes under over here somewhere.
See if we can find a way in. Willing to park nearby and surveillance a little closer.
Okay. Are you trying to keep away? Like, when you say nearby, you don't mean like on the overflow?
Not on the lot. But
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Okay. I see.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so you're getting out. I'll tell you what. Whoever wants to just roll like an awareness just for basic danger, keeping an alert, that kind of thing, that's fine. And then someone could probably roll investigation as well if they want to look for anything else that might stand out, clues. That's what investigation basically is.
I would like to do investigation.
I think Coyote would be looking out. He'd be, seeing sight on, target acquisition.
I can help you with
awareness.
investigation then.
And
Okay.
because this is my creed field,
All right.
well, so technically it's research, breaking and entering, and interrogation is what counts for my creed field. So we're not quite at the breaking and entering phase yet.
I'll give it to you. It's close enough.
Okay. So that means that I can take all 4.
It's going to lead perhaps to breaking and entering. So you can take it.
That is kind of the plan. And then this is intelligence investigation.
Intelligence investigation. Yeah, that looks good.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me roll those first, and then I'll roll the desperation. So that. Wow. Where were these rolls earlier?
Still in
So that is
40
a
years now, though.
6, a 7, an 8, a 9, and a 10.
Nice.
Okay.
And then I still have to roll the 4.
You still have to roll
Desperation.
them. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you do get one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 2 extra successes and no ones.
Okay, good. Okay, with that many successes, that sounded like 7, I think. 7 successes, was that right?
1, 2, 3,
Oh
4,
dear.
5.
That's
yes, that is 7
phenomenal.
successes.
Oh wow.
That is phenomenal. All right, I'm just going to give you some obvious stuff. And then who was rolling the awareness? If someone wants to do that awareness.
I'll
for DJ.
roll the awareness, and that's
Yeah, go ahead.
awareness and wits, or awareness and composure.
I think wits makes sense, yeah.
That's 4 dice for me. 2, a 2, a 3, and a 10. So 1 success.
Okay, 1 success. Okay. I'll say this. You do notice that with 1 success, you're not going to get a ton, but you do notice that there are additional locker room control cars around. Compared to when earlier in the day, it's been probably 10 hours or so. Like we'll say it's around midnight, give or take, maybe 1 a.m., something like that now. You all were here around lunchtime, so it's been 10, 12 hours since you've been here. It does look like things have died down a little bit. Maybe it's just because it's so late at night. Maybe it's because they've kind of dropped their alertness level or what it might be. But you see probably about half as many cars lingering in the area. You don't really see any active patrols currently. Doesn't look like there's anyone like out and about moving, like there's any sort of active patrol. Then Maria, geez, with your 7 successes, we'll say maybe your phone can connect to your surveillance equipment on your van. We'll say that. Get your phone out. You start moving about, kind of tracking. And it is like sort of somewhere beneath, and it kind of skews a little bit more onto the north side of the lot in the direction of like where that Alhambra facility is. But you do notice that in the construction site, there is a not insignificant amount of digging that's been done. Looks like there's going to be sublevels here.
Mhm.
And so it looks like they've already laid some of that foundation in, but there also looks to be like they've been routing pipes and things around. With your knowledge of plumbing, being a plumber yourself,
That I am.
you would probably speculate and feel very, very confident. One might say 7 successes confident that there might be some sort of vent or auxiliary access that you can navigate through in these tunnels.
So yeah, I will definitely share that. I think we've got an alternate way in.
It's perfect.
That's
get going.
amazing, Maria. The patrols seem a little light right now on the outside, so I don't know, maybe we're catching a break, or maybe they've pulled in and circled the wagon, so to speak.
I think getting in is going to be the easy part, unfortunately.
Don't worry. We've got the divine on our side. We'll smite those who help the monsters and the monsters themselves.
You know, it's been a minute since I've seen you do your thing with your hands, and I remind me never to get on your bad side.
All those who stand the righteous path are safe against the Enochian fists. At least that's what the sister told me. I don't really understand it myself.
It seems to do its thing. We just need to keep our eyes out for those trank guns. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
It's not.
I haven't had this bad a headache since the last time the orderlies beat me into unconsciousness.
Last time I had this bad of a headache, there was a large quantity of alcohol involved. So
I've never had any alcohol. One of these days, maybe. I'm not old enough yet.
kind of the same outcome, headache either way. So, someday though.
Someday. Let's go save Elaine and kill a bunch of bad guys. I mean, monsters.
Either one.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Is you got 7 successes, which is an absurd overkill for this. I do want a basic navigational test here, which I think survival is probably survival is usually navigation from what I was looking at. I did a basic reroll of the skills, but I'll I'll say, Maria, you don't necessarily have to be the one to roll it, but I will say because you got so many extra successes on this, and because you're a plumber and you kind of know your way around this stuff, whoever does roll it, you can take, I'll say you can take like a +2 bonus on this. But this is basically just to sort of get into these, you're crawling around in these pipes. It's not like you're standing up. You're like crawling around. You're finding this what looks like it looks like they've sort of ripped apart existing sewage lines, and they're kind of, looks like they're renovating in some way, or they're trying to reconnect or tie it to the main line. You're not entirely sure. Maria, you probably would know, but Melissa and Jeff don't, so we'll just say that.
Maria spouts plumbing words.
Right.
I've got 3 dots in survival.
I assumed either of you would probably be better than Maria.
So 2 bonus die, survival wits.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Survival wits is perfect. +2 for Maria's.
That's 7 dice. Yeah. I tell you what, since I got out, I've been hunting a lot in the sewers for dinner and for monsters. So I think I've got this. I might be wrong though. I don't know. 9, a 10, an 8, a 7, and a 6. So that's 5 successes.
Oh, that's dynamite.
Yeah, you're good. You
3 is all I wanted. Yeah, you're plenty.
You underestimate your skills. You're good.
It's okay.
He's good at living on the street. Don't ask him about politics.
You all are climbing through. It doesn't look like it is. It's certainly filthy. It's old. The smell in here, the stench is terrible. Maria, I'm sure you're used to it, but Alvin and Quixote, it might be something somewhat new to you. But we'll say eventually you manage to find your way into what looks like to be like the nexus of a series of these industrial pipes. There is what looks like this plating, this kind of covering that they put up because it hasn't yet been connected. Like it's like a staunch just to make sure that there's no leakage that is happening. Do you have any tools on you, Maria, or any tools in the van, like welding tools, or you could just try to brute force it too, but it would be easier.
I specifically have welding as my craft specialty, so okay. I would like to say that I have some things in my van.
We'll say you head back up, you grab your pack, and you come back in, and you start to get to, and you start doing this kind of carving around. You're laying on your side, you're covered in filth, you're still kind of hung over from it. And go ahead and roll with your specialty, with your welding specialty. It certainly applies here.
Okay.
This will probably be tech or craft if that's better. I don't care. Either way is fine.
Yeah, I've got craft with the specialty, which gives me 3. And then what should I do for my other one?
For your attribute, we can call it intelligence, I guess, because knowing where to cut and everything is fine.
That works.
Have fewer eyes at you. That's funny because Elaine doesn't have as many eyes.
That is. So that is a. What's my target number?
Target number is 3.
All right, I got 4.
Okay. It takes a little while, but eventually you kind of carve out this hole and you punch in and you hear a clink 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 as this sort of blockage is falling down, and you look inside and it's very dark, but it looks to be inside something. You would imagine some kind of like boiler room or underground sewage room, something like that. You're not sure. You don't really see any light, but you put your flashlight on, you look inside, and you can see it looks to be some kind of an industrial maintenance room of some kind. You pop out, you see what looks like these different routing service tunnels here and there. Like you think you're possibly in, you're not sure if it's used or if it's going to be used or it's being relocated, some sort of sewer nexus. You see that there's doors leading up and out. One seems to kind of be going off in kind of an easternly direction. One seems to be going off in kind of a northernly direction. You find a light switch, you flick it, and you see like this just hanging old-fashioned incandescent bulb above just flickers on. and you look around, and it's not a room that hasn't seen the light of day. It's just, you can tell that no one really comes down here very often. But it still seems active. You put your hand on the pipes, you can feel like there's stuff that's kind of flowing through it. Like it's someone's still pumping fluids through here.
I've been around a lot of different sewers in the city, and this is not something that I've seen. We should keep this in mind for future hunts. This is something here.
Does the GPS give you any idea where Elaine is in here?
I'm
you're
not
very
tagged,
close.
by the way.
Yeah, it's the creature.
eye thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the creature. Yeah, the creature though, that ping is still going off, and it is very, very close, still slightly to the north of you.
All right, then we'll continue.
In the future, maybe we should tag all of us before we start a hunt.
Maybe those vets are knowing something here. Okay.
That would be a very wise.
I was
idea.
thinking the same thing after Jeff was like, and you're gone. And I'm like, damn it, I should have shot myself.
Yeah, that would be funny. Okay. So again, there's two. There looks to be like there's like two doors out of here. One heads off in the easterly direction. One heads off to the northerly direction. Each of them have like a couple steps, like 3 or 4 steps, kind of going up. You guys are probably a good 20 feet below ground. I would think maybe 30 feet below ground. So
if the
think of it
GPS
like
says
maybe
north,
two stories below ground.
Okay. If the GPS says north, we'll go north.
Okay. Pop out of the door. You find yourself in this long, kind of dark corridor. You're moving. It smells like kind of dust down here. Like, again, it doesn't look like this is getting a ton of traffic. You hear the sounds of like, you know, stuff kind of piping and moving through the walls here and there. You find like a turnoff every now and then. And it kind of goes into what looks either like some old storage, disused storage. You're not really sure. You know, you're looking, but eventually you come to, and you're still following the thing on your phone. And eventually you come to what looks like a door that is far more recently constructed, recently built than others. It's heavy duty, metal, and you can see that there is some sort of electrical pad, some sort of actual modern security pad on the side of this thing.
If we had a lane, she can get us through.
I know. That's the funny thing about this. This would be super easy for her. What do you all want to do?
Can I try reaching out to my locksmith friend?
Okay. I mean, it's at this point, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. How many pips?
Let me pull him up again because he is. Let me find him.
I mean, I'll say you can do that, but you'd be waiting around a while for him to get here. You might not even be able to do it. It is sort of a secure, like, device. Not so much a he's coming and changing the locks. It's not so much mechanical as it is like an electronic security system of some kind.
Yeah, and he is a weak ally, which means I think it's like a 1d10 chance that he like responds to me when I need him.
Okay, I would say you probably want to find a different tactic before you fall back on that, because that's going to take more time.
Can we investigate it a little bit? See what kind of pet it is?
Yeah, you can tell that it doesn't look to be like biometric, but you look over, it's just like you can tell it's got a punch code, you know, but it also has what looks like a card key. Like you can either punch in a code or put kind of card's key scanner to it. The door itself, metal, heavy duty. You certainly couldn't put a shoulder into it, for instance, and knock it over. Explosives maybe, but you certainly couldn't just like maybe
Did you guys pull the security guard's card key off him when you knocked him out in the hospital?
It was like a badge he had.
Yeah. Did you guys
actually?
You did.
I mean, I could see if that has anything on it.
Try.
But I think that's just their logo.
Well, I mean, like I know my military ID looks just like an ID, but it also seconds as a cipher lock access.
Yeah, as a
key
door
too.
badge.
Long, high, or low? Let's see if you have it or if Elaine had it.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. All right, I rolled a 5. I rolled a d6. Rolled a 5. You're okay.
Yay.
Alvin, you do have it actually.
Maybe this will work. I'll pull it up.
Okay, pull it out.
Give it a
It's in your
swipe.
pocket. Good memory, Eric. You put it up, and you see like the kind of the red card key scanner suddenly goes green, and you hear "Ding." Grab the handle, turn the handle, and it opens up. It does in fact work.
Yes.
Great
That's
memory.
fantastic.
It's one of those things where if we had in-game currency, I'd give like something to Aaron for remembering that. Okay.
Good thinking, Alvin. Let's get in there.
We should give him his own snowshoe dice. It's just Aaron's snowshoe.
So you can see that the door, like the store opens up into a small, what looks like a stairwell. It's not very high. It probably goes up to the, like, again, you're like, again, probably 2 stories down. This one seems to go up to the story right above you, like you're in sub-basements. And you go up a second floor. It's like a quick turn, and then it stops, and there's another door. You can see that there's a cut in the window. You peer
As
inside.
we're going up, Quixote's scanning for security cameras in the stairwell.
Okay. Since you're asking for it, yes, there actually is a security cam. As you start to move up the stairs, you look up, and you can see right above the door of the next level up. So basement, we'll call it basement 1. You can see above the door in the corner, there is a security cam, fixed. As far as you can tell, it's on. We'll say it's got that little red light.
So he points it out.
You managed to catch everybody before anyone would get visible.
Now, is it pointing just down at the door on the upper landing, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it's going to cover the landing and maybe a couple steps.
There's no dead zones. Might just have to make it fast.
Does it have? How's it mounted on the wall? Is it a wire connected, or is it?
Yeah, from what you can see, it's on a mount. There's wires coming out that seems to sort of disappear into the wall itself. So it looks to be wired to probably some sort of central system.
It could stay flat against the wall, get a couple of steps down, and try to have somebody reach up and tweak the wires. It'll knock the camera out. It may be longer before they react to a down camera than it would be to seeing us on the camera.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Either that or trying to cover the front of it or something.
Or we could try to tilt it up a little bit so it's not actually covering the door completely, and then go in underneath its field of view. I'm not saying I've ever done anything like that before, but it's not a bad idea.
I think, if I remember correctly, we established that Elaine is very tall.
Yes, we have established that. Yep. I would say it probably wouldn't be difficult for Elaine to reach up. You might have to like do a little hop.
Maria.
Maria. I'm sorry, Maria.
No, Maria referred to herself as Elaine.
Sorry. I was looking back at my first session notes.
She was tranked, okay? Come on.
A little loopy here.
All right, so what I would ask for then, I mean, if you're trying to like do the whole like sneak thing up so you're not, it is fixed, you're probably going to be seen at least for a brief time. You could do, it could be stealth, it could be larceny. I think those are fine. You're tall enough to make it, like, it's going to work no matter what. I don't think you actually have to do a roll. It's more about like if you want to do stealth or larceny to try to get there quick with the minimal amount of possibility. I am going to roll a die to see if just someone so happens to be looking at the screen at that point.
Yeah. Because basically what I think I want to do is kind of combine my height and something that I have to poke the camera upward.
Okay.
So that we've got a better
you're
walking
fine. Like
area.
you can move the camera. That's not the issue. The issue is more of
got
like,
it. Okay.
if you're trying to do it to minimize the amount of time that you're on camera, what I'll say is you can roll a test, and then I'm going to establish a difficulty based upon how well you do on your test for what I would have to roll if someone just is lucky enough to be looking at the screen. I just do want to point out danger is still 5, desperation still is 5. Everything's maxed the hell out right now.
Okay. So does this count for
Breaking and entering.
Yeah, that's what I
Breaking
was
and
going to say.
entering.
Does this count as breaking and
Absolutely.
entering
It
for that
absolutely
4?
does.
Okay, that makes me feel better. So because stealth, I've got 1. Is it Dex for attribute?
Dex is fine. Yeah.
I'm not so good. I only have 1 in Dex.
How about composure for keeping it together?
Composure, I have
moving
4.
quiet.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectly
That would
reasonable
be
argument
my
to make.
preference.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll roll those first, and then I will roll the 4 for the.
You are tapping into desperation dice, right? Okay. Just
Yes.
remember, if you roll 1, the danger can't go up any higher. And if you do fail, I'm going to say at minimum, the minimum to sort of determine whether you pass or fail, we'll say a 3 is the cutoff. So if you fail a 3 and you get a 1 on a desperation dice, that'll trigger. So go ahead and roll.
How many do I need to just succeed to begin with?
It's like I said, you're going to be able to move the camera no matter what. All you're doing right now is establishing how long you're on camera, and how long you're on camera is determining how many D10s I'm going to roll when I see if anyone's looking at the camera right then.
All right. I will tap into the extra 4. So I'm going to roll my first set first. And that is only 2 successes on that first set of dice. So now I'm going to roll the 4 for the desperation. It's 4, right? For desperation still?
It's 5.
Oh, it's 5.
We're maxed out both ways. One of you is taken. Things have gone really south. 5 desperation, 5 danger.
So I now have 2 10s. So I've got 2 6s.
That's 4 successes right there.
And 2 10s.
You said so you have a crit, so that's 4 plus an 8.
7 successes.
7 successes. All right. Because of a crit, what I'm going to say is I'm not even going to roll. So you're just going to, like, that's how good this is. Like you're tall, you have these long legs. You just take like 3 steps at once. You're in the shadows as best you can, and just like that, you're right underneath, like probably quicker than you've ever seen. You reach up, you got a tool, you got a flashlight even, and you just kind of push the camera kind of off into the wall. And then now it's no longer covering the landing. It's no longer covering any of the steps. Anyone can move underneath it. It doesn't, from what you can tell, there's no like remote mechanism to move it as you're looking at it. Mm-hmm. So someone would actually have to come down here and physically reassign it. Like it's not the highest. Like this is, from what you can tell, this is not an often pathed area, and so they're probably not having their best equipment here. But yeah, it's covered.
Okay, so Maria's definitely sort of like high step tiptoeing along and then kind of waves everybody over.
Okay.
See, this is where I'm in my element. Not so much shooting a gun, breaking and entering and doing these things. This is where I get to roll all the dice.
So you guys get up to the door. You look through it. You can see, like, again, there's like a cutout of a glass, like right above the handle. Metal door, but it doesn't look like it requires any kind of access. This door, it doesn't anyway. You look through and you can see what looks like a much more high tech is kind of overstating it, but you see a very nice looking hallway with kind of polished concrete floors. You can see there's walls where like the bottom half are like got this sort of bright orange. The top half is gray. You can see that there's lights periodically as you're looking this way and that every so often. It looks very dark in the sense that you think it might be just nighttime lighting, like where like it might be motion censored. It might just be half lights are on, something like that for low energy. You do see both ways, which as you look left and as you look right, you do see that there are lights that are kind of kicking out of these doorways here and there into the hallway to suggest that there's other rooms here and there. If you wait a moment, you watch as someone comes out of one of those doors, and you can see they're wearing what looks like hospital gear. Like they got scrubs on, and like they've kind of got a chart or a tablet in their hand. You can't tell from this distance, but they're writing on something. And you see they move from one of those open doorways with the lights and kind of into another. You don't see any signs, at least from the angles that you can get from this limited viewpoint, of any clear security right now.
No security cameras, no obvious motion detectors on the wall, on the corners.
Well, why don't we do a roll for this one? It's a little bit harder to see. So yeah, go ahead, just do an awareness. Wits probably. This is fast.
Anybody good at this? I'm not particularly. I can do it though. Awareness. Yeah, I got.
Is fine.
That's 4 dice for me.
Yep. Same for me. How about you, Alvin?
About the same, yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's mine.
You guys don't forget.
Aw, poor
You can help
Elaine.
each other to get more. So if you have a pip in awareness, you can assist. It's fine. Like you can all be like kind of huddled up and looking this way and that, and like double checking each other's work. So take 2 extra dice then, Quixote, for.
All right. So 6 dice, a 6, a 6, a 4, a 1, an 8, and a 6.
That's 4.
So that's 4 successes.
Yeah. There does, in fact, appear to be, as you look down, what looks like to the right is where you can actually see the hallway end. Like you can see like what looks like the side of a door. You can't see the whole thing. Like it's some kind of heavy security door off to the right. And you can see up in the corner, kind of right down, kind of staring down in front of it at part of the hallway. You're not sure how far it would extend, probably a decent amount, but it's also very dark. There is another one of those cameras that you can occasionally see like a little blip of a red light that kind of gives it away.
So I got security up here, but it's not as tight as I was afraid. Maybe this is the hospital wing. Maybe Elaine's in here somewhere. Maybe Brock is.
Let's head in, see if we can look through a door. And for the cameras, maybe
we need to try to grab one of these doctors and make him sing.
I was thinking maybe we could try calling Elaine's phone and see if it goes off somewhere. Maybe they didn't turn it off.
Oh, that's a good idea, Maria. I think I broke my last flip phone. I don't think I've got her number anymore.
You break all of your phones.
It's more secure that way. They can't trace us.
I don't think you got a new one since you just ripped it in front of Sister LeBlanc.
Yeah, he's still down the phone.
So Maria's gonna
bulk.
right.
So what do you want to do?
Maria's gonna try calling Elaine's phone and see if like maybe
Right,
it's
you're in
on
a
somewhere.
Yeah, you're in a stairwell. It's a thick door. I would say
Reception not necessarily good.
Yeah, no. I mean, like you probably can't really hear anything from here. Probably keep that tactic in the back of your mind, and as you start to stealth, you might be able to get, to a place that might be more. But you would probably have to, at the very least, open this door, kind of get into the hallway, so you can actually hear more clearly.
Yeah, when that doctor steps through the other room, I'll just open this door and head in.
Okay, you head in. You think there's a decent chance you're going to show up on that camera that's on the right side of the hallway.
For the camera, maybe I'll grab Maria's light and just shine it in the cameras when we walk by.
Okay, I mean, it's at a distance. It's like off on the other end of the hallway.
When we get to that point.
Okay, so do you want to go in and hustle towards it and shine the camera? Like it's a run. Like again, just imagine a long hallway, okay, and like you're going to enter it, and it's going perpendicular to the door that you're coming out of. You can kind of see the end of the hallway to the right, and that's where you see the camera. We'll say it's probably about 30 feet away. The left hallway seems to go off. You're not sure how far. You don't see an end to it. And to the left is where you saw like the person in scrubs coming out of one of those doorways with the lights coming out of it and into a different one.
And we didn't see any security cameras off to the left, or at least not within our vision
yet. Yeah, no, not from this vision.
We could peel low to the left and move into a room move into the room behind the doctor and subdue that individual. And one of us could get dressed up in scrubs and at least have plausible, look the part if we come onto the camera.
Alvin Tau MD, hey?
I mean, it sounds like the job for a judo master to me.
Best I have is a bachelor's, but I can pull off disguise.
Okay. All right, so you're going in, you're staying low, you're going to the left, and you want to basically just bull rush into one of these rooms and grab it, the one where you saw the person in scrubs going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you go in, you open the door.
Of course, you are listening to a madman, but I'm just saying.
All you stay low. As you go to the left, you see that the hallway extends a significant distance. Like it's a good 100, 200 feet before you see it stop. There are also, it looks like, intersections here and there, as if there's like cross-listed rooms. And then there's a series of doors. It does certainly have the feel of a hospital wing down here, but the coloring is different than in the Valley Wise medical. Like, but it does have that kind of feel. Everything, like as you're moving past, everything is sort of nice, meaning like it looks recent. Like you can tell that like it's like the upkeep here is something not insignificant. When you come around and you start to bust into one of these rooms, you can see that there is a woman. She's probably, you would guess, maybe in her 30s or something like that. She has her back to you. She's the one wearing the scrubs. You can see that she's in what appears to be some kind of supply closet. Like you can tell that like there's all these different things. Like it looks like she's doing inventory, like a nightly inventory. And you sneak on in. So Alvin, describe how you're doing this, and then we'll do a roll from there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come from behind her and choke her out, pretty much subdue her.
Okay. Yeah. So just looks like just brawl. That's what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. Geez, difficulty 2. I mean, this is straightforward.
I'll just take the auto win. I have 8 pool.
Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah, you're so good at this. You sneak on in and you grab her by the neck. Whatever she has in her hand, which you see now is a tablet, goes falling and clattering to the ground. That's the only real sound. And you immediately kind of cover the mouth. The rest of you can kind of hustle. It's not a small closet by any stretch. Like this is a big storage room, and there's all sorts of medical equipment in here. None of it doesn't look like there's any meds. It just looks like more like equipment and supplies as you come on in here. There is a door you could close as well if you wanted.
Is there a closet I can shove her in?
It's a big room, so like you're in kind of a giant storage, like not giant's overstating it. It's a large storage room, so 20 by 20 or so. Quixote and Maria, are you following?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Closing the door.
So you come in, close the door. You've got her. You can feel like she's starting to, like she's struggling and struggling. Do you want to just knock her out? Are you looking to kind of like sleeper hold her, or are you trying?
Yeah, I'm looking to knock her out, so she's not gonna wait for a while.
Okay, so yeah, you do it. That's not a problem. You just feel eventually she kind of goes a little limp. You let her down gently. She's got a little like one of these IDs that she has kind of attached right to her scrubs in the front. It has one of those like kind of collapsible, expandable things where she can kind of pull it off and use the marker. You don't recognize her. Doesn't look familiar to you. Just a worker. What do you guys want to do?
Quixote hands the tablet over to Marie. He's like, I don't know what to do with that, but maybe it's got something on it.
Maria, roll tech, intelligence or tech wits, whatever you prefer.
All right, that is a tech is 2, wits is 2. All right, so I got 4. That is 2 successes.
Okay. So I mean, it looks like it didn't bust. She's got this heavy duty case around it, but we'll say that you got it under so fast that it didn't have a chance to shut off. So you get it before it sort of, so you don't have to worry about trying to get in. But you can see that she is some sort of specialized like software. But you can see as you're looking at it, it's not for Valleywise Medical. You actually see the logo Alhambra on it. And it does seem to be some sort of specialty software for their inventory. And she literally is just going through inventory and she's just tracking what they have. Is there something you're looking for in particular?
I'm going to turn to Russ and I'll just say I got in, but it's like an inventory program. It's just like stocking whatever's in here.
I don't know anything about those things. I mean, the sister showed me, I don't know, she called it a tablet. I don't even, that's just pills to me. I don't understand.
So I'll just try going back to like a home screen and just see if there's another like program or something that I can open.
What are you looking for? You tell me what you're looking for.
Looking for more of like a patient roster, like health record stuff.
Okay. Okay, so you do in fact have, there does in fact seem to be that on here. And I'll say because you guys got her unawares that we'll say it's her tablet. She's logged in. There's no additional logging and requiring. It's very sluggish and slow, as specialty software tends to be. And it does have a list of patients, but there's a total of 8 that you see are grouped, that are referred to as observational. It looks like they've just they don't have any actual names, just patients 1 through 8. There are lists of what looks like intake time, like when were they were, like date and time. And there are 2 that have been taken in within the last 2.5 hours.
Is there any like male female designation on them?
No.
Okay. Gonna try to look for a timestamp around when Alvin and Elaine saw him being wheeled away.
Saw a guy. Yes, you do in fact see that. Yep.
Okay. So do I have like a patient number that we think Brock is?
So you would surmise likely Elaine, and who, if this is what you think it is, obviously.
Right.
Elaine in the victim that kind of drew her to that building were probably 8 and 7, and then it looks like from what you can tell, Brock was probably 5.
Okay.
Maybe there was also one that you can see that was one that was earlier today in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about the kid.
That could be 6. There's one that's about 24 to 36 hours before Brock. Maybe that's Shelby. You're not sure. And then there's a few others.
You said this was a supply closet with like meds and stuff?
No, there's no meds in here. This doesn't look to be like a medical closet. It's just it's basic. It's sort of basic medical,
like gloves
medical
and
gear,
masks.
gloves,
and
mask, that kind of stuff.
Does it got like a scrub hamper or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll dress up a bit. Look
Yeah,
apart.
Yeah, that can easily be done for sure.
All right.
Yeah, you guys look the part, sure.
PPE it up and
Exactly. Benefit of masks. It's part of your face.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I assume does Maria take the ID and put it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once it was a female doctor, that was my assumption.
All right. What would you like to do now?
Try to find these rooms that the patients are being held at.
Okay. Why don't let's just do an investigation roll. Let's just sort of do a quick that. It's like now you're not as worried about stealthing now. Now you can kind of move a little bit more freely.
Okay.
I'm crap at investigation, but I do have 1 pip in it, so I could aid.
Assist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can aid as well.
All right,
All
Maria,
right.
I guess you're rolling it with +2.
So that means that I've got 3 for intelligence, I've got 3 for investigation, and I've got 2 because of the assists. So let's see how this roll goes.
Okay.
All right. Could have been better.
I would say a 3 would probably be the best. You do better than
Well, I have a 3 exactly. So would I
Okay.
do more if I spend willpower?
that. You'll get what you want if you get 3. If you get more than that, you know how I am. I tend to get
Yeah,
more
I'll
out.
spend a willpower to reroll 3 of them.
Okay.
And see if I can get a 4th.
Keep
Get a
spending
little
that
more info.
willpower.
Well, I have 4 composure, so I basically get to reset every session. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I hear Irinial doesn't take any fatigue when we do it.
okay, so this was good that I did this because I had 110 and now I have another 10. So let me count up
Okay.
my successes here.
All right.
I've got a 7, I've got a 7, I've got an 8, and I've got 2 10s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
That's 7. Yeah, 7. 7, 7, 8, and 2 10s. It's 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. The 3 you do move around a bit. You can tell again. There's like these 2 intersections en route to the other side of this long hallway, and you do notice that as you go down, like they sort of loop around. You can also tell, like like as you kind of make the first right at an intersection, it kind of goes down and kind of loops back around. But you notice at the second set of intersection, you look off to the right, and you can see that there are 2 lockroom control agents that are flanking and standing outside of what looks like a door to some kind of patient room. It doesn't look like a heavy duty door or anything like that. You can tell also that as you look at your phone that's doing your tracking, and you look at the end of this long hallway where you see another security thing and sturdy pip going, you can tell that tagging of that creature, it is not in this section. It is through that heavy security door. But then you look off to the right and you see those 2 figures. You see what looks like some kind of like observation door, or excuse me, large observation window, and you can kind of see what looks like this huge lab. And you don't have a great angle, but you can see that there's a couple people you think that are in some kind of medical beds. You would probably guess that maybe they're guarding this room or something like that.
They're guarding the room with the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
My priority is trying to find Elaine.
Yeah, we've got to save Elaine and Brock first. We can come back for the rest of these bastards later.
So, Jeff, if I heard you correctly, we're dealing with lockroom guards no matter which way we go. Did I hear that correctly?
You only saw 2 of them, and they're both flanking the door to this kind of patient observation room. The pinging that you're getting is not coming from that's through that hallway.
The other way.
And you know that through that hallway, the further you go is going towards a specialty medical prison.
But where do we think the 8 patients are being held?
You can see what looks like patient beds through a window next to.
So where those 2 guards are?
Where the guards are, yeah.
Okay. So we have to go through the guards to get.
You're welcome to get closer and look directly through the window, but I didn't want to presume you were going to do that with the guard standing there. I wanted you to make the call to do that if you wanted.
Why don't we want to take these guards out?
Well, if we're going to save Elaine and Brock, I don't think we're going to have a choice. I prefer to do it quiet. That's Alvin's specialty.
We can send Maria up first and see if they let her through. If they don't, she has us as backup.
I can brawl with the best of them, but I can't hit like you do, Alvin. Not normal people.
Just because I got hit with a tranq gun once and immediately fell doesn't mean I'm going to be completely useless and I should only be used as bait. But fine. I'll go.
Okay.
You're our Trojan horse. They read that to me while I was in the hospital in a straitjacket.
So if I understand the plan, I'm supposed to walk like I belong here and just try to go through the door.
Of course.
And if that doesn't work, then
we're right behind you.
Oh yeah, when they turn to stop you, we can hit them from behind.
I think we have a plan.
It's a bad one, but we're going to do it.
I know. So I'm going to have the tablet out, kind of eyes down a bit.
Yeah. I got you.
I belong here.
I understand the plan. You turn.
What am I rolling?
I mean, you if you want to roll, I wasn't going to make you roll anything.
I would. I don't want to have to roll anything.
Subterfuge.
I would say subterfuge or performance if you wanted.
I have nonstop BS.
That's if you start talking.
Under persuasion.
Do you want to start talking? Why don't we just see what happens when you walk up first, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
I'll walk up first.
All right. Okay. You walk down the hall. The rest of them are kind of hanging back by the intersection, kind of peeking out as best they can, trying to keep out of sight. You walk past this long window as you're approaching the door where the guards are, and you can look off and you can in fact see there are what look like 8 beds that are all in the middle of this large laboratory. You can see in the center of the laboratory, there is this central console that kind of sticks up into the ceiling, and there are all these different monitors that have been that have been like hung around it, and all of the beds, almost like petals of a flower, okay, are just sort of the head of the bed is sticking to that central column, and there's all sorts of wires and little things that are kind of coming out like they're being monitored. You can also see that on some of the other walls, there's more panels and things like that. And there is this long desk where it looks like there's one person that is kind of sitting at the desk and is kind of got this relatively bored look on their face. They're just sort of looking, and they're kind of with one hand clicking clicking a monitor of a computer. As you're walking by, you do notice, in fact, that there are people you recognize in those beds. You see Elaine. You have you seen Brock before? Yeah, you saw Brock because you guys rescued him. You see Brock, and you do in fact see Jonathan as well. As you walk past, you come up to the door, and these two guys kind of look at you, and but you can tell that they look at you, and then they kind of look down, and they see you lean in. You've got the mask on. They lean in, like. I give you a little wave. You turn the handle. You go in, and the person at the desk, white coat on, doctor of some kind, clicking, doesn't even look up at you. And they say, "Did you bring me my coffee?"
Ah, shit! I forgot.
Are you freaking kidding? Come on. Come on, Katie. Jeez, it's your turn. And they're just like looking. And you can see that they've got multiple monitors up, and they're all kind of, tracking various things. One of them, though, is that they keep staring at is you're not even. It almost looks like they're staring at like an old television that used to get that kind of white noise static. And they're just kind of looking at it here and there. They're sort of clicking here and there. And every now and then when they click, it kind of marks something. There's some sort of UI that's overlaced, that's over top of it, but most of it it just almost looks like this smudge of like gray and white every now and then as you're watching, and they still haven't necessarily looked up at you. You can see that like something forms. You can see like something sort of forming in the static, but you can't quite see it. You look over to the left and you can see all the patients in the bed. They all appear to be unconscious.
And who else is back here staff-wise?
It's just the person, just whoever's monitoring whoever was just talking to you.
Okay, and that's it. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, something like that at this point.
Okay.
And you also know that they captured the creature as well.
I wasn't expecting to get in here so easily.
Giving you enough rope to hang yourself with.
I know, and this is where now I'm not going to know what to do.
It's like a dog chasing a car. You caught it. Now what?
Now what do I do? Can I just kind of use that nonstop BS to just sort of like make small talk? Like seen anything yet or something, since like they're looking so intently at that.
Yeah, roll persuasion.
Okay.
With your bullshitter specialty.
Yes.
And then
composure.
I'll take composure. I know you want composure because that's fine.
What were you
want
going
to
to say
keep it
instead?
calming. I was going to say something like charisma or manipulation, but composure's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I can roll it.
I think of composure more of like a passive skill, whereas like manipulation is like active.
Okay.
But right. No. Take composure. It's fine.
All right. Let's see how I do. 8 dice. Let's see how the roll goes. That is a 4 successes.
Okay. And there's like, no, I haven't seen anything. I mean, it's not like we're going to. We're just going to see Interior of a freaking cell. It's way more interesting when he was on the loose. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe I'm bad, but I think it would be more fun if we just let it go again. No. Drebin doesn't want to get attention. It's fine. And so now, whenever they see something, it's a ceiling or bed or a manacle or something. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know what they did to the thing. It was pretty beat up when it came in here. It's having a rough night. Really just sort of just mind-numbing kind of crybaby here.
So I'm gonna kind of see if I can convince this person to go kind of get the coffee. Like, this is boring. You don't really want to keep watching this. Like, you want to stretch your legs and grab that.
All right. That's a manipulation test. That you're actively.
You're 15, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Take a manipulation. So this one's gonna be manipulation. You can still use your bullshitter skill. That's fine. I'm gonna say
1, 2, 3, 4, and 2.
I'll say 3. Moderate. I'm persuading a disinterested bus driver to hold the bus. That's the comparison. Yeah, okay. That's fairly close.
All right. That is a 9, a 6, and an 8, and a 10.
All right, so
That's
4
nice.
successes. I'm like, oh, and I suppose you're going to want me to get you something too, right? You're buying at least. But I could stretch my legs, and they're kind of getting up, and they're doing that constantly where they're just continuing to watch their monitor, and they're not really paying too much attention to you. This is one of those things where, like, you think because you might be a nurse, and that might be a doctor, and this is one of those cases where doctors are just, like, sort of, you know, being all highfalutin, you know, that kind of thing. Do you have any cash on you?
Do you want me to roll and see if I have cash on me?
I assume you probably have some on you.
Yeah, I assumed I would have some that I will kind of throw on the table so that they're looking down at the table as I try to move around them.
Okay. You're like, they grab it up and it's I like to picture it like it's all crumpled up and stuff. It's not neat.
Oh, totally.
And he goes to pick it up, and maybe it's a little wet from like all the running and moving around tonight. He's like, "What are you, some kind of monster?" It's like you degenerate. As he picks it up. Okay, I'll be back in 20. Hit the button if anything happens. You know the drill. They open the door and they leave, and you are in a room alone with all 8 of these observation people. You have a terminal in front of you where the desk that he just departed from has 3 separate monitors, 2 of which are just taking a look at it, has some sort of basic vital, like one of them has like basic vitals, one of them seems to have some information like patient information, stuff like that, and then the other one is the one that has that sort of weird staticky thing, and every now and then it's sort of something's coming up from it, but then it's dipping and nothing really interesting is showing. Those of you that are out in the hall, Alvin, Quixote, you see the door open, you see a guy come out, he's got a white coat on, he kind of does that kind of stops, says something to the guy. It's like, yeah, it's like, hey, fun night, huh? Fun. And they just don't really seem to like, whatever you say, doctor. And kind of
seeing that it's not Maria coming out, do my best to hide.
Okay.
Get out of his sight.
Okay. Just run back, find a different room. Maybe go back to the storage room, backtrack a bit. You hear the footsteps. They echo, and then off they go. All right, so Alvin, Quixote, you're in this storage room. You're pretty sure it's clear. Maria, you're in this room. There's 2 agents between you. They don't look like the same agents that you guys fought. These are 2 different people, obviously. What do you guys want to do on both sides of this? You tell me.
My focus being inside is going to be to try to see if I can get Elaine disconnected from this equipment. So like our goal is to get Elaine freed. So I am in the room where Elaine is. And so like I'm kind of thinking that they're going to figure out what they're doing out there.
Okay.
And so I'm going to try to.
Yeah, you go up, you disconnect all the nodes. That's fine. You do see that does cause like the monitor that's above her bed to kind of glitch out, and then you see some flat lines. Readings aren't coming through. Back on the 3-monitor setup over, you can tell that like there's like a red line now coming through, like an alarm, not an alarm going off, but an alarm for like whoever's using the monitor that something's glitching.
Can I try to do something to get that off?
I mean, I don't know. You're not like a hacker tech type person here, so you're not sure if it's being reported back or whatever.
Can I look around to see if there's anything that I could use to kind of try to get her back? Like, is there any? Again, I'm a plumber, so I'm just looking around to see if there's something.
There's some. You could there's some stuff. There's trays around. You can see like there's definitely some syringes and some little vials and things. They've got very complicated names on them that a plumber might not know.
Yeah.
You can roll medical if you're looking maybe for like adrenaline or something that might kind of kick her into
I have
overgear.
0 pips in medicine, so I don't know how that works.
Roll it. Just roll intelligence.
Intelligence. All right. Let's see if have I watched enough ER in my day. That's 2 successes on 3 days.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I think that's fine. Adrenaline's not something that's like you would probably be able to recognize. You go through like you just said it. You watched ER. You draw out. You reach over and they're like, that this goes. They stab you right in the heart, right?
Right. That is exactly what Maria does.
You get this big old syringe and just right down Elaine. You don't know for how long, but you've been dreaming for a bit. They've been very boring dreams. For a while, it was kind of creepy, as you felt like you were kind of getting dragged around. For a while, you think you were in a trunk, maybe, and you were getting dragged again. You have visions of other people and a prison cell. But not one with bars, but more one that's like, cinder block walls and a very secure door. Mm-hmm. And then otherwise you've just been sort of like laying in bed, sort of thrashing around. You don't really have any, like no attacks or anything like that. You don't get any memories or, you don't get any like emotions or anything like that. But it's been very bored. You just had this like this strange prison dream. And all of a sudden, bright light in your eye. You look up, you're in a gown, a medical gown of some kind. You feel a horrible pain in your chest. Your heart is feeling like it's about to explode. Your eye feels like it's going to thrust out of it. Mm-hmm. You're disoriented extraordinarily. You see a woman standing before you, this giant Frankensteinian tall woman with a mask on her face, and you're in a room with all these other patients around. You've no earthly idea where you're at. What do you do when this happens?
Elaine will get up and try and push this person down on the ground. And
okay, roll roll a brawl. Roll a brawl.
Okay.
This is appropriate.
Let's see. Strength.
Maria, you can roll too. We'll call it contested.
This is gonna be strength brawl.
Strength brawl, yeah.
Grand
2
total
successes.
2 dice.
Go ahead and roll, Maria.
And 1 success.
Okay. You lunge out of your bed, okay, and you just tackle her to the ground. The syringe goes flying and kind of scattering across, and you've got her on the ground. You start thrashing around, kind of scratch at her face, and as you do, you rip the mask, and you see it's Maria.
Elaine, what the hell?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
And
then at that point, Elaine will like get up off of her, and she's like holding her chest, and what the fuck did you stab me with?
Blood kind of pooling on your... Maria, also take 1 point of superficial damage.
Oh gosh darn it.
Sorry.
That's fine.
She's the one who did it.
I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Well, yeah, that's because adrenaline.
Just had like 100 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
They trained all of us. That GPS idea was a great idea because we tracked to this where you're in like an underground like hospital place, and this is everybody else is here.
Yeah, it's not dead.
Alvin,
yeah,
Quixote, as you're watching in the hallway, you vaguely hear the sounds of something like some sort of slam or whatever. Like the two guards at the door kind of look at each other, and one of them kind of peers back, opens the door, looks in, and this is why Maria and Elaine are on the ground. And the agent sort of like comes in, is like, "Everything okay in here?" And you see they start to reach for their gun, and they look down on the ground, like, "What the fuck is happening, Dan? What the hell's going on in here?"
We got to charge in and throw some elbows and prayers.
Oh God.
I just
Okay.
I had to pee.
What the hell's she doing awake? What the hell's going on in here?
Nothing.
Let me see that badge. Wait a second. Let me see that badge. Alvin and Quixote, you're going to rush at the other one that didn't go inside?
I think that's all we can do at this point.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your brawl melees or whatever it is you prefer.
Okay, so brawl strength, that's 6 dice for me.
Got an 8 pool.
Oh God. All right. Let's see if there's any. No crit. All right. This is going
crap
to be
on a stick.
That good of a roll, huh?
Man, I got a 1, 3, 1, 2, 7, 7. So clearly I'm going to spend a willpower to
sure
try to do something with that menagerie of crap.
It's going to be a
Okay,
difficulty
better.
of 3. A difficulty of 3, we'll say, for Quixote, and then it'll be a difficulty of 2 for Alvin.
So I got a 9, 8, and 6. So with the 2 7s, that's 5 successes.
I got a 7 with crit.
Okay. Between the two of you, you see the other guy go in. The other one, the guy you're charging at's kind of holding the door, kind of trying to peer in. You guys do the kind of like the quiet run, like the one quiet step, and you just, between the two of you, one of you goes low, one of you goes high, and all of a sudden this guy's head just cracks against the side of the door jamb. You hear like, "What the hell's going on here? Let me see your ID. Who the hell do you think you are? What the hell's she doing awake?" And this guy goes down to the ground. There's this big crash. Now the guy who's inside, looking at Maria, he's got his hand on his gun. He whips around. It's like, "Jerry?" And he kind of turns around. Maria and Elaine, what are you doing?
I want to stab this guy with the syringe.
I did say the syringe went kind of cascading off to the side, but we'll say, just because it's fun, that there is something else nearby, a scalpel, other syringe,
Okay.
something that you can stab him with. That's fine.
Cool.
All right, you want to lunge at him. Maria, what do you want to do? I can't believe you guys just crushed that guy. He's just knocked out. He's not dead. He's knocked out, though. Yeah.
Can I help her just to try to have
Want
like
to
both of
distract
us?
or something?
Sure. So
Okay.
like I'll just keep talking and just talk while she hits him.
Okay.
So like I'm not doing anything with the talking.
There's
It's
been a
not gonna
crash
convince
out in the
him.
hallway. Jerry just got knocked down to the ground. I'm not sure how much talking is going to work here.
Oh yeah, no, just so
Yeah.
that his eyes are on me.
Okay. You're just trying to distract. That's fine. Go ahead and take an extra
exactly.
die, then I'll
Okay, I got 2 successes. I'm gonna re-roll.
The difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll 3.
And then out in the hall, Alvin and Quixote, they do have guns. You can tell they have guns right on their side. It looks like they have some sort of like, your usual sort of pepper spray stuff, something like that. Looks like they've got some handcuffs, but not like the mechanical handcuffs. Like they just got like the ties. They have a few of those in the back. Like looks like some other kind of multi-tool. And they appear to be wearing some sort of not like full-on armor, but looks like some sort of vest as well.
I got the 1 extra that I needed to meet the minimum.
Okay, so you managed to stab him with the syringe. We'll call the syringe probably the equivalent. Yeah, we'll call that that's. I'm trying to think. Improvised weapon. Nah, let's give it light impact. So you'll do 1 damage to him. So you just turn around, and you manage to miss the part where his chest is, and you get like right up above, right at the nape of his neck. You just stab right over top of his vest. He's like, what the fuck? Okay, so let's recap now. Elaine, Maria, you're both in the room. Elaine, you are in melee range with this guy. You've got a syringe stabbed into his neck. Alvin and Quixote, you just cold cocked this guy who was not looking, unawares. Difficulty is going to be a little higher this time around because now it's no longer unawares. Now, he's on the ground. He's got weapons. You know that there are other people working. You don't recall seeing any other security guards other than these two, but there are other people working. There are cameras. There is security. So all of that, keep that in mind. And you do know that there is a prison likely through that heavy door that heads off to the north down that hallway behind you. What is everyone doing?
Maria wants to take out her gun to use the butt of the gun to try to knock this guy out. So like a melee.
Okay, so you want to do... So you're going to do brawl, melee. Okay, but you're looking to do superficial damage. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elaine looked like she thought I was going to shoot the gun in here.
I did. It's like, please, no.
Elaine, you're up there with him too. What do you want to do?
Ugh. I guess I want to just kind of like try and like spider monkey onto his back and try and choke him out.
Okay, you want to climb up on top.
Yeah.
The adrenaline coursing through you. You're
Yeah,
gonna
like,
be
'cause she's
so
just-
tired in like an hour.
Yeah.
When the coffee wears off, I feel very tired. When the adrenaline wears off, I would imagine you're in a coma afterwards.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I have no idea. Okay, and then Alvin and Quixote, you just took this guy out. What did you two want to do?
I will rush in and assist and disarm this guy.
Okay, so you're going in as well. Quixote, what do you want to do? And I'll say, Quixote, if you kind of stand up for a moment, you look over, there's Brock laying in the bed.
So Quixote will actually drop down onto this guy's chest, put a knee under his chin, and then do a palm strike into the base of his nose to drive it up into his brain and kill him.
Okay. No roll. He's unconscious. No roll necessary. He's out. You guys took him down, and you just hear a sickening crunch. You see the face kind of shift a little bit. You feel the crunch. The head kind of turns to the side, and he is dead. Jerry is no more.
We don't allow those who give aid to the monsters to live.
Alvin, Elaine, we can go in whatever order you guys want. There's 3 of you on one. Remember that it's going to be easier as he has to defend against multiple people at once. So I don't care what order we go in. I do think Maria or Elaine probably makes sense for one of them to go first because they're right on top of him. But we can go whatever order. The difficulty this time around, though, is going to be higher. You're not getting them unawares anymore. So the difficulty will be kicking up. Let's see, what is danger at? Danger's at 5.
5.
So we'll do plus 2. So difficulty's going to be 5. Poor Jerry. Nothing good ever happens to a character named Jerry in our
No,
games.
No.
not on Fridays.
It's a reap what you sow sort of situation for old Jerry.
Yep. All right. So, who's going first?
Yeah, I'll go for the disarm here. I'll even do the spare dice.
Okay, go ahead.
This could be a pool of 13.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
God.
By disarm, he means he's going to remove. the
Right?
arms. He's going to pull a Matty
And
2
then
on
beat him over the head with the
then he's
bloody
going to have the
end.
melee weapon. It's my favorite thing to do in games. Is rip a
It'd be
piece of
8
weapon.
success, crit, makes it 10.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. Okay. And you
That's
just want to knock it.
absurd.
So, Maria, you're going at him. You have the gun raised. You're about to hit him. Elaine, you pull back. You're you're climbing up on top of the desk.
Maybe
about to
she
leap
is on
him.
his back.
Mhm. And he turns around. He takes like to the chin. He takes the gun from Maria. He whirls around. He manages to get his gun out. He's about to kind of pull a trigger, but then Alvin comes in, like flying, like kick, just throws him down to the ground. Elaine, you go like tumbling over some of the monitors, and then Alvin, you manage to kind of get him down in this hold, and you just hold. You can feel he's very strong. He's trying to kind of turn the head off to the side. You can feel like he's struggling, and eventually Again, he's knocked out. You have a knocked out guy on the ground. You just made some noise. You don't know if anyone heard it, but now you have one dead security guy on the ground, one unconscious security guy on the ground, and you've got 7 other people in these beds, some of whom you recognize. What do you want to do?
Let's go. We don't have time. Get him out of here.
Do I see Shelby in here too?
Yes, you do actually. I would say you would probably recognize
Yeah.
her. Once you see her face, you're like, oh yeah, that's Shelby.
Wake her up and Brock up. And then he pulls the dead guard in and strips him out of his armor and his weapon belt.
Okay.
We should put him on a bed.
Is there anything we can do with the? Yeah, that's a good idea. Is there anything we can do with this computer to get information about what they're doing here?
I guess I can see what I can rip.
I mean, while we're trying to wake everybody else up, well,
We need to hurry.
Shelby and Brock. The rest of them, well, we'll have to come back for them.
Lane, you don't see your things. I would imagine you
Yeah.
probably have on your person, like, flash drive, something like that. But you don't have.
She's just
them on
gonna
you now.
look to see if there's like an external like hard drive or anything attached to this computer, and she's just gonna grab it and take it with her if there is.
Could you yank the hard drive?
Yeah, I'll say you can yank the hard drive.
Okay.
It is 2022, so you would know that a lot of these computers these days there is
It's
some
like
sort of
Cloud
cloud storage.
database.
Yeah, but not necessarily. It all really depends on how secure the system is. But yeah, I'll say roll a tech, do an int tech, and this is just more like how quickly you can grab like a hard drive out from under. Like this is really more about timing. How fast can you do it? So
I
Kyoto,
got a
you're
10,
stripping
a
the guy,
7.
throwing him on a bed. 3 successes. You get it done really quickly. You know how to do this. It's got like the thumb twist screws. Yank the side, and they're not. This isn't like a huge tower. This is a much smaller, condensed, and you just kind of. You might even be able to just take the computer too if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria
Alvin
wants
and Maria.
to try to duplicate her little adrenaline trick with Brock.
Okay. All right. Now remember, Brock has no eyes. Still has no eyes, and you can see everyone here, but the exception of Elaine and Jonathan, has no eyes. The 2 of them have 1. Okay. There's one. Okay, so you take the adrenaline and you stab it. Same sort of process, and you see him just sort of burst up, but he is in an immense panic. Maybe he's forgotten that he's blind because, Elaine,
Yeah.
you dream, you see things, and he wakes up and suddenly he can't see. He doesn't know where he's at. Screams in panic, help, 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 help! And he starts like kind of screaming at that point. What do we do?
And Maria's going to turn to Rust because like that's going to be the favorite voice.
Brock, it's Coyote. We're here.
Rust,
We're here
Rust.
to get you out. I'm here.
Rust.
I'm here.
I can't see.
I know.
What the
I know.
what
You're
the-
gonna have to
what
just
the-
trust me. Shelby's here. We're gonna get the 2 of you out.
Oh my
When
god,
we-
I feel like I could freaking lift a horse. What the hell did you do? Ah!
It's adrenaline. We had to wake you up. They had you in some kind of. They made you sleep so you could dream.
What the-
I'll explain everything when we get out of here, but we've only got a few minutes before these paramilitary fucks come back and try to put you under again.
I killed someone, and I saw myself. I
It
think
wasn't
I
you.
killed someone.
It wasn't you.
What?
It wasn't you. It was the thing that took your eyes. Just trust me. We'll get you out of here and I'll explain it all.
Okay.
Put your hands on my shoulders. I'm gonna walk you out of here.
And you feel like he just grips into the point where it almost hurts because you got some bruises and things from your fight with the creature, and he just grinds down into it. Do you want to adrenaline Shelby or Alvin? Or are you?
I can carry her and stuff.
Okay, so you grab Shelby, throw her over your shoulder.
As Coyote
And,
is walking out before we get ready to move out, he takes a moment and stops next to the unconscious guard and throat strikes him with his heel until he hears his neck break.
It's almost like the scene from American X. You just until like the head just, and then finally you just see something give in the face, in the throat, and it just collapses inward. And you can, as you're staring, Kyote, you can watch the chest just stop.
Maria, help me get Jonathan. Can't leave him here. He's just a fucking kid.
Elaine and Maria and Alvin, why don't you guys go ahead and just roll a little willpower here? As you've just seen Quixote kill 2 in cold blood right in front.
Sure.
I think it's worth doing. This might kind of.
He's a nutter. He's completely nuts. No doubt about it.
Yeah, you're fine.
No, Quixote's nuts. I mean, I would freak out.
All right. So what are we rolling?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, not roll. Let's say roll composure plus resolve maybe, and then we'll put it at like a difficulty of let's say 3. And if you fail, just take a point of willpower, superficial willpower. That was
You
Ben.
said
I was gonna say that was George. Oh, George and Jerry.
Yes. I got 4 successes.
You're
Well,
good.
2 I failed.
All right, take a point of willpower damages.
I also rolled 2.
You're judo. You're a judo master. You're all about like non-fatally hurting people, and these are normal people. And you just see him just sort of crack the neck, slash the throat of 2 guys laying on the ground. Maria, same deal. But do you have other things to concern yourself with?
Superficial willpower.
Superficial
or aggravated?
willpower.
Okay.
Superficial. Just superficial.
All right.
Okay.
And I also want to look at the other faces because I just want to see, just in case, like we recognize anybody else or.
You don't recognize anybody else. You can commit the faces to memory, but you don't recognize them.
Okay. So we've got
Yeah. So
Alvin
you guys have been
carrying
doing.
Shelby, and we're going
Right.
to try to carry Jonathan.
You
We
are
take the kid.
carrying Jonathan. Okay.
If we take the kid, it's kidnapping. They can't come after anybody we broke out of here who wasn't meant to be here. But if they'd have a case against us for taking him, well, I did kill 2 guards, but
There's that.
Yeah, there's that.
they're not going to want to mention they had those guards down here. But if he goes missing, I'm just saying.
And you do know that Wes, the father, opted into this.
Okay, yeah. Then. Oh,
Right.
fuck.
Do
Well-
what you want. Like, do what you want. I'm happy to go either way with this, but there's consequences no matter what you choose.
Yeah. I think, well, Elaine was the one who really was like, if that's what you think is best to Wes, like,
Mhm.
so I
So-
think she
So
actually would.
Maria will move over to kind of take Jonathan and be talked out of it by Elaine and Russ.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Fuck.
let's just quick inventory before we run on out. You got the hard drive. You've got Shelby over. So Elaine's got the hard drive. Alvin's
Yep.
carrying Shelby. Quixote, you've got on your shoulder. Rock is kind of clinging to you. Maria, you're still in the scrubs. Got a little scratch on your face though from Elaine. Mask seems kind of kaput at that point. You guys don't have. I mean, you have no idea how much time you have. But what is it? Is there anything else you want to do before you leave?
I can't think of anything. Like we're trying to get the data from that. We've got the people that we need. I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
ready to backtrack.
You guys start backtracking, going through the halls. Okay. 2 things happen on your way out. One, as you're kind of moving through the hallway, you do hear the sound of an alarm kick in. Not immediately, but after a couple steps, and there's a whole group of you now. You're carrying people. You've got so now it's like whoever's watching the security guard. So you hear that go off. The second thing that happens is the guy that Maria sent out. He's coming back, and he looks up. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he drops his coffee on the ground. And there's this big pool of coffee on the ground, and you can see he's just like, he has no idea what's happening. He's stunned. He's like, What the fuck are you doing, Katie? What the fuck? He kind of looks. You can see his eyes kind of squint as you're getting closer. He's like, "Wait, you're not Katie. What the fuck?"
Quixote
You guys wanna
pulls the pistol and says, "You're coming with us, Doctor. You got questions that need
No.
answering.
Ugh.
Turn around, keep your mouth shut.
Don't shoot!
And
Don't
move.
shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Looks like we are kidnapping people after all. It's a war. We'll fight it however we have to. Unless you guys talk Rust out of it. I mean, that's how he would react to the situation.
Yeah, Maria is just going to kind of go behind him and just push him in the direction of where we're going.
You are going along with the whole keep him hostage type of thing?
Unless Elaine or Alvin step in.
So you and Russ are taking the doctor hostage. Melissa, I'm looking for a
Yes.
response from you.
Yes.
Okay. Elaine and Alvin, you're going along with this?
I'm gonna push past and ignore what they're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
If they're doing it.
past.
Yeah, Elaine's just going with.
Okay. You guys start to backtrack. You go down the stairs, back down into that sort of outdated, not fully used kind of maintenance room. You hear the sounds of like the alarm kind of starting to fade as you get further and further. You're kind of navigating back through the tunnels, the pipes. You don't have to necessarily roll anything. You pop out, and you've got like you're in this again. Remember that you're in the parking garage area, and you can see that there are lights here and there moving about, and you can see what looks like there are now active lockroom patrol vehicles that are kind of moving about. Some of them seem to be kind of sweeping. Some of them seem to be going and kind of driving quickly over towards the hospital. Others seem to be going over towards the prison, but there's active movement now. You guys haven't been noticed yet. You're in the grounds of this of this parking garage. What do you guys want to do? How do you want to get out of here? And you got this one guy who's like, I won't say anything. Just let me go. Just I won't say I didn't see anything. I was out getting coffee. That's all it was. I went out and got coffee. I didn't see anything. I don't know what happened. I swear to God.
Rust whispers into his ear, "You help the monsters kill us."
No. I don't. No. We were just studying stuff. Like, we were just trying to figure. It was an accident. It was just an accident. He's not a monster. He had a reaction. That's all it was. It was just a bad reaction. We were just trying to figure it out. That's all. I swear to God.
He stole the eyes from people, and you let him.
He wasn't supposed to get out. It wasn't my fault. I was just there. I was just helping people, trying to figure out what happened. That's it.
Reaction of what? Take a deep breath.
Medication. There's just they gave him some sort of medication. He had to have a transplant, and then he took it, and then that's what happened. That's all I know. I wasn't a lead. I'm not a lead on this. I run the night shift, for crying out loud. That's it. That's all I do. I just observe. That's it. I'm just trying to
Who's the
help these
lead
people.
then, and who pays for you? Who signs your paycheck, Quisling?
It's Drebin. It's Dr. Drebin. That's it. It's Dr. Drebin. That's it. He's the one. He's in charge. It's his gig. That's it.
What was it that you gave him that turned him into this?
It was over in Alhambra. They were just meds of some kind. He needed a transplant, and it was transplant meds. That's what it was for, and things went wrong, and then he had a reaction. That's all I know. I don't know. I work at Valley Wise. I give kids lollipops. This is just a night gig. I need more money. Medical loans are really expensive. I swear to God.
Maria's
He's
gonna
innocent.
grab
No time
his
for this.
badge.
Okay. Sure.
And
want a name?
she'll
Doctor, you see Zachary Blink. That's the guy's name. You have his badge, Zachary Blink. It's got a photo of him. It's a similar badge to what you had with the woman you grabbed, the nurse.
Coyote. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Maria will kind of gesture over to Alvin, and just say, "You sound like you're an innocent, and we don't take out innocents."
I worked at Valley Wise. I was approached. I want extra work, and it was all I had to do was observe, and all I had to do was record data. Anytime something showed up, I marked. And then I just trying to figure out why these people were seeing things in their dreams. That's it. That's all I was trying to figure out. I swear to God.
Did you figure it out?
Not yet. We don't know. We're not sure. It's something about when they it takes people's eyes, and then we had other people. There were more, but they
what?
They went crazy, man. They couldn't distinguish like what was they were dreaming, what was, and then others when their eyes got crushed, the dream stopped, and they were okay.
Elaine said that thing is still alive even after I caved its skull in. Is that true?
Yeah, they got it locked up. It's not getting out. It's not getting out this time, but they know now. Like I saw it myself. They wheeled it right past me. I swear, it's never getting out again. It's never seen the light of day. No one's gonna get hurt by it again. I swear. The other people, I'll make sure. I'll make sure they're okay. I swear. I won't. I'll make sure they're okay. He's like barely looking at you guys. Like every now and then he's looking up and looking down, looking up, looking down.
Put your hands behind your back.
Don't kill me, man. I'm
not going to kill you.
Quixote takes those zip ties out and zip ties his wrists and his elbows together so his arms are really close. And then he takes the pepper spray from out of the utility belt and he puts it in his hand and he goes, "That's a pressure grenade. Hold it really tight. If you let it go, you're going to explode. Now run towards those cars and tell them you've got a bomb and you need help. That's all you got to do. They'll take care of you. Just don't drop it.
Okay.
Run."
Okay. And you see him start to run and he stumbles and he runs and he stumbles like,
We got to get out of here, guys.
Yeah, we'll use that distraction to get back to the van.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great distraction. That's actually a really good distraction.
That's awesome.
Not my first rodeo on messing with people. Not that I've ever done that in real life.
Just go listen to our Delta Green game over on Garblag to learn the extent of Aaron's knowledge. Okay. I'll say with that distraction, you start to see a lot of the cars that are circling around begin to sort of, they curve back around, focus. You can hear shouts like, "Get down, get down!" And you guys, the group of you parked away. You didn't park on this specific lot. So you're running and moving about. Okay. I'm just going to roll some dice here. All right. You managed to get back to your van and you don't think you've been seen. It's dark out. There's not a lot of street lights around this lot, so it's very, very dark over here. But you managed to get back to your van.
Driving with the lights off.
Okay.
Yeah, Elaine's gonna actually take the license plate off the car before we start driving, if we have the time.
If you want, you can. I mean, you would know that driving a license plate might actually.
That's true. Attention. Yeah, more attention. Yeah. Okay.
It's up to you guys.
We need to get a secondary license plate.
I am sure that you guys are hunters. You might actually have like a collection of them
replacements.
Somewhere. Yeah. Because that's what they do in Supernatural. So.
Definitely. Yeah. Driving with the lights off for a while till we get out of the kind of direct area. And.
All right. We're gonna say that you guys managed to get out of the danger zone and you get away. Where do you guys want to drive to?
You got to get these people safe somewhere.
You guys do have a safe house, yeah. I think one or two of you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one as well.
Okay. So it's not your home though. You have an actual safe house separate from where you live with your family. Okay.
Let's go to Alvin's safe house.
Yeah, because mine's my house.
It's part of my dojo.
Okay. So
we haven't been there yet. Let's go.
You guys drive over. You circle around to the back of this strip mall, probably where the dojo is. Go in the back, not the front. It's late at night anyway. And you got like this area set up, maybe a couple cots or something like that, and you lay them down. Sure. It's middle of the night. You've got Brock. You've got Shelby. We'll say a couple hours pass as everyone kind of calms down. Eventually Shelby wakes up, but not until dawn. Explained to her the situation, everything. You guys check the news. there's absolutely no information on the news about anything that went down.
They're covering everything up.
Of course they are. Monsters and monster lovers. But I don't know. I need to go to the basilica today. I need to confess.
So we'll say with everyone safe, we'll kind of let the day sort of progress. You guys have your lives to check in on. You think you're okay for now. You don't know, they didn't know your names or anything like that. Elaine was taken. She might be the only one that they might know the name of. You're not sure. But we'll say
have the mask merit background.
you have basically a fake identity, right?
Yeah, so they have my fake identity.
Okay. So we'll say the day progresses a bit. Everyone kind of goes and checks on some things, keeps up appearances, goes to get some food, goes to whatever. Elaine, I'm just going to sort of like montage end the session here as we're essentially finishing an adventure arc. Elaine, you head back, middle of the day, we'll say 11, 12, you get back to your home. You can see that the door to Mr. Ponder's home is open. You can see like Steven's in there. You see him coming out. He's got this suitcase, what looks like, with like some of like Mr. Ponder's things. As he's walking out, kind of gives you this dirty look. And he says something to the effect of, "Looks like you're gonna get a new neighbor. You happy now?" Fucking ridiculous. Now I got a monthly payments now for this. I can't afford forget it. And he just kind of continues to walk off, doesn't like go off on you as he starts loading up his car. Maria, you head back home. Maybe you check in with Katya at some point. Kind of swing by. And when you get up to the door to her home, you kind of go peeking in once more. You've gone in here before. You can see that the door is open. You can see the jamb of the door has been splintered. Someone forced their way in.
Yeah, crap. I would go inside.
You go inside and you hear someone pull back the hammer of a gun, and you see standing in the kitchen, kind of leaning around the corner, gun kind of pointed at you, some sort of maybe 24, 25-year-old woman, beaten up. You can see she's bloody here and there. She's chewing this big old wad of gum. Hair is kind of all messed up, and you can see like the kitchen has been scoured for things. Alvin, you're waiting around in your dojo. You go see your family. You come back to your dojo. You're hanging out in the back. You're keeping an eye on Shelby. You're keeping an eye on Brock. At some time in the afternoon, you hear this huge commotion. Okay, and you go and you check the front where the training's actually happening, and you can see that laying on the ground on the mats of your dojo is a kid, 16, 17, bloody face, like the mat, pool of blood. You can see his nose broken, teeth broken, jaw broken. Someone beat the crap out of him, and there's a class going on. And you see behind him, there's another kid who's laying on the ground, and there's like 7 or 8 different people holding this kid down. They're all wearing the dojos of the robes of your dojo. They're holding him down, and he's just like a rabid dog, like, and you can see his hands are kind of covered in blood, face kind of covered in blood. His eyes look like they're like bursting out of their sockets. And then finally, we're over at the basilica, or maybe we're walking to the basilica. Quixote, something kind of catches your eye. Maybe a block or two away, there's a coffee shop or something like that. You walk past, and you see something. You see like this, the monitor comes up. Maybe you're looking for news. Maybe you're still looking, like, is anything popping up? Is anything popping up? Is anything popping up? And you kind of stand outside, like you got this kind of tinted glass, but you can see the monitor with like closed captioning. It's got like Channel 3 on, local Arizona news, local Maricopa news. And it's kind of going through a few things, and you see it kind of pop up here and there. You got this shadow of yourself as you're kind of looking through it. And in the background, you see the ticker. And then something, and you're about to turn away, and then something comes up at the last second on the ticker, and it says, local parents in critical condition after vicious assault by son. And as you're watching it, your eyes are kind of like focusing on that ticker line that's moving past, like something the actual anchor is saying. You kind of refocus a bit suddenly on like the reflection, that translucent reflection of yourself, and you see suddenly that your head kind of shifts and kind of kicks off to the side, but not in the way that you moved it. And your head kind of tilts again, as if your shadow is like examining you. You see your own arm kind of come up in the shadow, in the reflection, and just sort of wave at you. And then up there behind it, like where the hand is, you see on the ticker, it says, hello there, old friend. And we'll go ahead and we'll stop on that, and we'll pick up in a couple weeks.
What the heck?
Just when you thought he couldn't get crazier.
Oh, there's always room for more crazy.
crazy.
Always room for more crazy. Okay.
Boy.
Let's do some
Holy
XP,
shit.
and then let's get the hell out of here because it's late. Okay, participation.
Ooh.
1, everyone gets it. Perform something remarkable during the session. Did everybody perform something remarkable?
Beat a knife thief basically
so.
mostly to death.
I think everyone did something remarkable. Let's see. Elaine, you stabbed the dude in the throat. I thought that was pretty fun. Your tagging was so useful. There it is.
Oh, God,
Yes,
that was the
thank
best
you.
thing ever. That was
Yes.
so smart.
So needed.
Skill, edge, or other trait in a clever or critical way. Again, you all figure out. You guys, if you make the case, I don't determine this. This is sort of up to you.
Yeah. I haven't taken it before, but I feel like I definitely used my breaking and entering.
Yes. For
Yeah, that
sure.
was very cool. Yeah.
For sure. Tell me something important your character learned this session. What you guys learn?
Oh my gosh.
We learned that the eye thing isn't dead.
It's not
That the
dead.
doctor is in charge of all of it. We kind of supposed that
Yeah, we kind of
already.
knew that.
But we
Uh,
also learned more like they used a drug on
Mhm.
yeah,
how it started.
Original,
How it started.
Yeah. Not a demon, some sort of weird reaction to a
yeah.
pharmaceutical.
So this is like a
And-
person who's been infected.
And we learned that this medical correctional facility may be connected with the monsters, or at least this monster, because that's where they've got it. We also learned that this underground hospital exists, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
We
And
definitely
that
learned
possibly
stuff.
whatever possessed me is still rooting around in my subconscious.
Maybe. Okay, and then finally conclude a story with within the greater chronicle. Yes, you
Woohoo.
did. We're going to say yes, you did this time. So take an extra two reward points for that one.
Nice.
Okay. So I can already hear my earphones are going out. So it's time. Let's do some closing plugs. Aaron, you want to plug anything on Garblag?
Let's see what we've got going on next week. On Monday is City of Mists, our first episode. Tuesday is Coriolis. Wednesday is Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition, Once Upon a Time in the Old World. Thursday, I believe Aldoon is running a one-shot of Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And then nothing Thursday night this time, but
No.
Friday on Garblag at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be starting a new Blades in the Dark campaign with Jeff.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Also,
That's Garblag.
on Garblag earlier that day at something like, I want to say 7 Central U.S. time. We're doing a little international crossover alien game. So it's Garblag. It's myself. I'm getting up way too early to play the game.
Yeah, 7 a.m.
Effect. I'm getting up at like 4:45 a.m. or something like that to play in a game. So there's going to be that. So lots of stuff on Garblag next week. And then for us here tomorrow, we're going to be back playing Wondering Second Edition. So come check that out. Tomorrow night, we'll be on Grim and Perilous Plays. I'll be running some more Heart for those folks. And then on Sunday, I'll be playing some Shadowrun on Steam Still Murder, who rated us tonight. Thank you again, Bert. And then on Monday, back to more Holla for Savage Worlds. Thanks for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who are watching this later on VOD, YouTube, and maybe someday podcast, as I'm starting to experiment with that now. It'll get there. It will. Just a matter of when, not if. But thank you to everyone. Thank you to the players. It was really, really fun. We're going to go ahead and rate our friends over at Defenders of Cobalt, who are playing some, I think, Tiny Dungeon. So go ahead and follow the raid. Tell them hi. Ask Chuck about his feet. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye, guys.